and provides real-time coaching, just like a personal trainer. Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code Tonal200. That's Tonal.com and use promo code Tonal200 for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com, promo code Tonal200 for $200 off.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic and weather. Jamie Whitten in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
95 in great shape. What rush hour volume we did have between Dale City and Newington has already cleared out. George Washington Parkway is closed between the Beltway and the Spout Run Parkway due to the weather conditions. Now the outer loop of the Beltway slows between Route 4, Pennsylvania Avenue, and Central Avenue, where the right lane is blocked. A number of emergency vehicles there looking for a water main break off of the Beltway in that vicinity. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Cloudy and cold to start. Temperatures in the low to mid 30s for highs. We'll see some light snow around midday, some off and on snow showers. But through the back half of the day to the evening, the snow will pick up in intensity, and overnight into tomorrow, we'll see that accumulation 3 to 6 inches on average, with some higher amounts still possible. Heading into the Wednesday afternoon, cloudy, cold, a little bit of sleet and rain at night, and then eventually drying out for the latter half of the week. I'm 7 News Senior Meteorologist Brian Vandergraaf in the First Alert Weather Center.
34 at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Wide on the WMAL app. Chris Plain.
The uncertainty and fear that you are feeling today is real. But I want you to know that every single person here and then some has your back. And we go to litigate, legislate, agitate, and resist because you are worth it.
Hey, resist doesn't. Yes, we will fight them in the Congress. We will fight them in the courts. We will fight them in the streets. We will fire on Fort Sumter. We will bring our lynching post. There's a restaurant in town called the Lynching Post. Democrats love that place. It's a big hangout for them. It's a hangout. See, it's the Lynching Post. That's a little joke. There isn't really a restaurant called the Lynching Post. There is one called the Hitching Post, but that's a good place. Don't worry about that. Speaking of all that, Ayanna Pressley, she shaves her head like she's in a prison gang in Venezuela. She's completely nuts. She's berserk. And a mainstream Democrat, too, because they're all pretty much crazy, aren't they? I mean, wackadoodle-doo. I heard it again this morning, but I love it. It was now governor and former White House spokesmodel, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who famously said not so long ago that the choice in the United States is not between right and left, Democrat and Republican. It's between normal and crazy. Normal and crazy. And it's fairly unambiguous at this point. The results are in. And the Democrat Party is mentally ill. They're completely crazy. We got Pocahontas for you today. She's out in the street screeching like a mental case. She should be living in a bus stop with a cardboard box over her. The way she screams and yells out on the sidewalk and the things that she says, completely berserk, nutty person. And I got to say, since I was talking about the Democrat and their long history of hanging people, it's the history of hanging people in the United States of America is the history of the Democrat Party. Haktui, I say haktui. But I got a wonderful gift in the mail, and I just got it today. Sometimes things get lost. I don't know when it actually got to the building in Washington, D.C., but a wonderful, with a nice note, and it's from Ben. I don't want to use full names without, from Ben, who sent this from near Tyler, Texas, in Lindale, Texas. And it's a wonderful, you know, those air freshener things that you can hang from your rear view mirror in your car. If you take a lot of taxi cabs or Ubers, you might see these. Sometimes they're shaped like Christmas trees and they're green and stuff, right? But this one is Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. And it's, there he is, Jeffrey. It's a cutout of Jeffrey Epstein, about 3.5 inches high. And it says, this air freshener didn't hang itself. This air freshener didn't hang itself. It's the Jeffrey Epstein air freshener. It's a wonderful gift, just great, from Ben in Lindale, Texas. And we're having fun with it today, showing it to everybody and laughing about it. Because when the Democrats murder people, it turns out to be good for laughs later on. Oh, speaking of which, we have an update out of Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, where there's not necessarily a lot of brotherly love, but there is some pretty crazy stuff going on, because we told you, we played audio of the riots and the fireworks going off and the madness in the streets of Philadelphia after the Philadelphia Eagles. How do you spell that again? The Eagle, because the Democrat mayor of Philadelphia doesn't know how to spell the word Eagles. And she's an educated person, well-educated person. The mayor of Dyslexiaville. She is pretty amazing. Well, it turns out I've got an update. The New York Post has the update after the riots and the mayhem and the fireworks and tearing down street lights and parading them around in the city on the pole. And they grease the poles on the streets. They grease the poles in the streets in Philadelphia when they're in a big sporting competition to try to keep people from climbing them. But many Philadelphians they've evolved. They've developed special biological skills, and now they can scale greased light poles. Kind of an amazing thing. It is. But the update, after more than 20 arrests and on like $100 billion in damage. I just made up the dollar figure, but lots of damage. But here's the story from the New York Post, covering the news, unlike the Washington Post and unlike the New York Times. 2 men slain, execution style, in hail of 40 bullets as Philly celebrates Super Bowl win. It's best, I think, to not have a body count after a Super Bowl win, just because, hey, my team won. Boom, 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 boom. 40 rounds fired, 2 people killed. Execution style, they say. Pretty remarkable. So congratulations go out to Philadelphia for their big Super Bowl win, and condolences to the families of the 2 men that were killed execution style in a hail of at least 40 bullets in Philadelphia early Monday. That's after midnight on Super Bowl Sunday. And again, Super Bowl Sunday we need to line this up with President's Day. So the next day is a national holiday. It's President's Day. Either that or move the Super Bowl to Saturday. And, don't have Philly and Kansas City in again, because that, they don't make for a very good game, I got to say. But the cops respond to the intersection of Claridge Street and Adams Avenue in the northeast section of the city around 3:30 a.m. Reports of a person with a gun. And Philadelphia police said in an email to the New York Post they found a 32-year-old man at the scene with multiple gunshot wounds to the face and the torso. And a second victim in his late 20s or early 30s, they don't know. They can't ask because he's dead too. With similar wounds, the police department said. So you're going to ask him all day long, but he's not going to answer. Both men were pronounced dead at the scene. And hey, so congratulations to Philadelphia. This is why they had a jail in their football stadium for decades and decades. Then they built a new stadium, and as I understand it, they built jail cells in the new stadium too. But they have since, wink, wink, closed them down because they said,
I'm trimming my fingernails
like they used to be. And then the guy who said that
I just did my thumb.
Battery,
I got some crazy fucking fingernails, boy. I could fucking rip your face right off if I wanted to.
Of the NFL,
enjoy the show.
Eagles fans.
I hope Whipperman's watching.
They're
Trump has got him so fucking triggered right now.
They didn't take any hostages, but speaking
hey,
of
Charlie,
President Trump.
Where is Europe's Las Vegas chat? How come Europe doesn't have a chat like here? They all got to come to New York or come to our chat. And JC's American. All Canadian cities are right on the border. Canada has been United States all along. They just
three
You know,
hostages.
it's
And,
weird.
idiots
They have the Queen of England on their fucking money,
Oh, they're releasing
and they speak
three
French.
hostages.
Something
And they
just
look
isn't
like they were
right.
Just liberated from Bergen-Belsen by the army, emaciated and sullen and dressed like they came from a Socialist Workers' Party death camp. You know, those Hitler people in their Socialist Workers' Party. So freed Israeli hostage, and when he was being released, and these savages were trotting him out dressed like terrorists with their communist rifles and everything. And turns out the freed hostage, Eli Sharabi, he was just saying, now I get to see my family. And he was kidnapped on October 7th, of course. Get to see my family. And the savages were laughing in his face, because they already knew that on October 7th, they murdered his wife and they murdered his two daughters, and that he wasn't going home to see anybody. And they thought it was pretty funny. And President Trump yesterday made it clear, unambiguously, that the savages must release the hostages by Saturday. Today is Tuesday, or there will be hell to pay. And I've got to say, I can only imagine what they have in mind, but I can't imagine what they have in mind. And using the resources of the American military, the American intelligence community. Remember them? We used to have an intelligence community that wasn't just an engorged appendage of the Democrat body politic. And, you can hunt these savages down and do them in. And if they're walking into their homes where their families reside, all the better, I've got to say. Snuff the next generation out while they're eating their tabbouleh. I love tabbouleh. Don't you love tabbouleh? I love that tabbouleh. And it's and it's fun to say because it's tabbouleh. Yeah, so freed hostage Eli Sharabi was reportedly unaware his wife, daughters were killed on October 7th. And here's a picture of him with his wife and his daughters, and they're having a nice time and being civilized people when the troglodyte savages, the bloodthirsty ghouls, attacked and, murdered and kidnapped and raped and savaged everyone. And they must be hunted down like the savages that they are and snuffed out. And I've got a bit on that. We have a wonderful Israeli ambassador talking about that for you today, too. So released hostage Eli Sharabi. First request when he was back in Israel was to see his family because he was unaware that his wife and two daughters were murdered in the Hamas onslaught on October 7th, 2023. Hebrew media reported. Sharabi's wife, Leanne, and their daughters, Noya, 16 years old, and Yahel, 13 years old, were killed in their home's safe room. They had to have a safe room at the kibbutz Be'eri, all right? And he and his elder brother, Yossi, were taken captive. Yossi has since been confirmed dead because the savages murdered him, and now they're holding his body hostage. And that's why they must be hunted down like the savages that they are. So we've got that going on. It's the war against civilization. And if you believe in civilization, then you should be on the side of, like me, hunting them down like the savages that they are and destroying these life forms before they kill again because, they're savages. And the Democrats like to fund them. We got another story about that today, too, because the Democrats, boy, they love the left. They love savagery. They love the lunacy. They love everything terrible. But it turns out USAID funded college tuition. That's the the U.S. Agency for International Development, funded college tuition for jihadists who joined Al-Qaeda, right? Tuition for Colorado State University. Years before he was killed in an American drone strike, right? The June 1990 file shared online shows U.S. Agency for International Development granted Anwar al-Awlaki, his request for an exchange visa. He wanted to, he's an exchange student, after he fraudulently claimed he was a Yemeni national. And USAID vetted him to their satisfaction and then funded the suicide bombing jihadi terrorist who eventually had to be killed in a drone strike. Remarkable stuff going on on this planet. It's important to be on the right side of things. And again, it's the crazy versus normal, normal versus crazy. The Democrat Party, I think you know which one they are. So big headlines today. NBC fake news. They're against Trump on this and on everything else because of their mental illness at NBC fake news. Trump threatens, quote, all hell is going to break out, end quote, if Hamas delays hostage releases. They've already violated the fake ceasefire agreement because savages don't adhere to ceasefires that they agree to. They just look for another opportunity to murder you and your family. Donald Trump pushes for plastic straws. This has got him going crazy, too. The Democrats, they're very upset about that cocaine-addicted turtle. And they're the ones that got the turtle addicted to cocaine, aren't they? And some Democrats grabbed a turtle, jammed a plastic straw in its nose, took pictures of it, and pretended it was that girl from the napalm picture in Vietnam. Said, hey, we're going to make a cause out of this. We're going to ban plastic straws because they work too well. They don't like things that work well, you know, illegal aliens and paper straws. But President Trump yesterday has had enough of this paper straw stuff, and he's pretty funny on it, I've got to say. And President Trump granted a pardon to the former, and I love this, that none of the headlines call him a Democrat, because he's the former governor of Illinois, and he went to prison, went to the penitentiary for bribery. He was trying to sell, among other things, Barack Obama's Senate seat after Barack Obama left, you know, to become the guy who slows the rise of the ocean. And amazing stuff. President Donald Trump pardons ex-Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich 5 years after commuting his sentence. Yeah, he's a Democrat. Amazing stuff. And in the meantime, let's see, Democrats send warning to Donald Trump. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Iran sends warning to Donald Trump. It's not the Democrats, it's Iran. But what's the difference? Because Iran is threatening to and promising to kill Donald Trump, assassinate him, changed his security profile quite significantly for the Secret Service, Iran. But, you know, it was actually a Democrat that shot him through the ear, and another Democrat had to be pulled out of the bushes with a rifle, and another one arrested. Where was he? In Idaho, that he was going to assassinate Donald Trump. Good news out of the FBI. The FBI finds secret JFK assassination records after Trump ordered. They lost them for more than half a century. Hey, anybody have those JFK assassination records? Search me. I don't have them. But now they found them. Isn't that amazing? And, we had a great caller yesterday from North Carolina. We were talking about Fort Bragg because the Democrats unnamed Fort Bragg. Turns out Fort Bragg, the Army base in North Carolina, had been named after a Democrat. So a Confederate during the Civil War. They were all Democrats, you know. And now it's been renamed Fort Bragg again. But there's a wrinkle, and I've got that coming up, too.
There's only one Chris Platt. The Chris Platt Show. Houston 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Virginia Beltway delays have cleared out. Maryland, we're still a bit slow. Outer Loop into Largo, but improving. Outer Loop slows before Ritchie Marlborough Road to Central Avenue. The right lane is blocked. A number of emergency crews blocking that right lane, looking off the Beltway into water main break potential. Outer Loop is cleared out into Silver Spring. It's sluggish.
Amazing. Just simply amazing. Hey, Kenneth. The guy who thinks he's Dwayne Allman blocking me and talking trash with Whippermantle. Wow, you're a fucking traitor. And Charlie, I've heard Wiggins say it. Hey, you fucking, hey, you consort with these fuckers who hate on America. Whippy wishes death on anybody who supports Trump. I'm at my limit. Dwayne blocking me and talking trash. How about it, Dwayne? How about you, Rob? King Rob, you say you're king of the panels? You ain't king on this panel. You don't even dare come up here, Rob. You big braggart. You notice King Rob doesn't come in here and fucking spam my chat. Yeah. DA says he blocks spam, but he's proud of Logical with his spam box. I don't even use spam box. I've been using one account, one phone. One. My New Year's resolution. I have this laptop. I could open fucking many tabs. I don't need to. Trump hasn't been in office 30 days. Hey, Whipperman, you bring your fucking, come on up here and bring your fucking history book with you. Oh, America doesn't have any castles. Oh, yeah, we do. They don't have to be like European. But you dumb fucker. This motherfucker ain't never seen a church in America. Every fucking church in my village is there's no brick. It's all marble. They didn't build them with bricks. I'll build a brick house. But most of the Victorian houses, right, it's brick and mortar, plaster and lath. Whippy, you don't know jack shit about fucking masonry. Not one fucking thing. You don't dare come in here, Whip. People like DA don't like to be timed out. Ain't nobody blocked right now. Ain't nobody banned from my chat. If you have my link, you can fucking come up. I haven't posted a link. If you want a link, I'll be more than happy to post it for you. You fuckers in Vegas. All Monica's people blocking me because they can't handle it. My dad was a Mason. My dad was a very smart man, a rugged individual. You didn't want to try to pull the fucking wool over his Whipperman. You wouldn't stand a chance. Whipperman couldn't last half a day on the job. That motherfucker said America doesn't have any, we don't have any ski slopes over 5,000 feet. And you see his English? He doesn't know the difference between don't and doesn't. He doesn't know the difference between is and are. He doesn't know the difference. If not for Masons, there'd be no houses to live in. This fucker thinks we don't have any brick houses over here in America. What a dumb fuck. All the schools are made out of block. Hey, Whipperman, have you ever heard of terrazzo? Do you know what terrazzo is? I bet you don't even know what terrazzo is. You got Mike H out there. Oh, I'm a tile layer. Hey, Mike H, how much terrazzo have you laid? That's quite a job. I love the phone callers.
Observation. 1998, President William Jefferson Clinton, a Democrat, declared that the era of big government was over. We now have a president who's trying to implement that policy and is being opposed by the same party that Mr. Clinton was a domino head of.
Jesus Christ was a carpenter, and that's where masonry comes from.
What is that?
Masonry and carpentry go together.
Do anything they want whenever it's suitable to them. They really don't have a set.
Building concrete forms is carpentry work.
Yeah, no,
because
that's
I've done
exactly
it.
Right, and that they have devolved to the point that what they used to claim to stand for, and they do this, they can turn on a dime. You know, Barack Obama was against gay marriage as a Christian until the fundraising dried up. Then,
This is the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WM.
So here's what happened. Let me correct you, DA. is you like to come in after the fact. They used FEMA money in New York City to house all these illegal aliens. And then when they needed that money, there's no money left. So it's fraud. That's why FEMA didn't have any money for North Carolina, because they were housing all these fucking illegal people who shouldn't have been here in the first place. They should have been deported, sent back to it. They have to find asylum in the country where they're at. You're going to come on. How big is Mexico? How far is it from the Panama Canal to the Texas border? It's a long ways. And Mexico has mountains and deserts. And during the summertime, it's not good travel during the day. It's fucking hot. Never understood those. They make them Western movies, and they're wearing all them clothes and the poncho and everything. Hotter than a fucker. So, Rainey, what is it? Are you American, or are you more proud of that Mexican flag? You lying bitch? My parents are dead, Billy. Charlie, you're the only brave one. And I think it's because you're a veteran. All right. You showed that VA care card, and it says you're a veteran. Whether you're an E1 or E9 or whatever. How about it, Whip? How about it, Monica? You and your fat fucking husband. That fat fucking, he works. What? As a security guard? Randy brags about being a security guard. I was a security guard. You're a coward, DA. You're a fucking coward, punk. DA is a conscientious objector. He would never give his life for his country. No, it's all about him. No, he's anti-God. He hates anybody who has faith in Jesus Christ. He laughs and scoffs at him, mocks him. Now he's blocking me. I'm always 2 days ahead of you, Dwayne. No, I do. I support all veterans. If you're a veteran of our military, my heart is with you. Because that's what our government is supposed to do. Protect our citizens, our way of life, our freedoms. People like Whippy and Rum and all them, they want to take away our. They're jealous of us. Yes, Whippermano, you are jealous of Americans. If your country's so great, you would have expanded the Industrial Revolution. You guys would have, all those people from Europe wouldn't have come here back in the late 1800s. All those Italians and all those Polish people, well, they were coming, but it wasn't a country before the Revolutionary War. It wasn't even a country. All of my ancestors are buried here. My grandparents' parents, their parents, their parents, and their parents are all buried here. All of them. I had my genealogy done before the fucking internet was ever invented. And Wiggin, you treated me unprofessionally. You should have let me fucking do my thing in your chat with that fucking moron. You did it with Rob, King Rob. You've done it with a couple other people. It's over with. You're not going to get my support. And I have supported you. You've used my name has made you famous, Wiggin. You have nothing without the Hayden name. It's a fact. And when you looked it up and see how my name is from the past, they have a long lineage. Way better men with a Hayden name than me. Yeah. Bigger, taller, tougher, smarter. I'm just a little guy.
Yes.
I was in college when this fucker did this shit.
The party of abnormal.
Bill Clinton. I did papers on this motherfucker in my economics class. Made a couple of teachers a little angry.
Something.
They fucking. I had teachers who loved me, and I had a couple of teachers who despised me.
It's funny because President Trump, once he's talking about.
I even pointed at him. I said, "This building you're teaching this class in, my father poured concrete and laid block on it. Half the buildings on St. Lawrence University, my dad worked on. Same thing with Potsdam.
Great, because we should bring back common sense.
I remember as a kid, your dad would take me to work with him.
It used to be common, and then the left came.
I got to hang out with my dad at his job when I was just a little boy.
The choice in the United States is between normal and
crazy. He was the boss.
The dividing line in America is no longer between right or left. The choice is between normal or crazy.
Sarah Huckabee.
That is a fact, Jack. Can I just say that? And speaking of crazy, Chuck Schumer, the Lizard King, as he is commonly known. I think even in grade school he was known as the Lizard King because of this.
Whippermano, you kind of remind me of Schumer.
Hanging out of his mouth, out of the
you
side,
do. You
like a gecko.
Really remind me of Schumer, actually.
Chuck Schumer now, being the ridiculous person that he is. He's actually being mocked. I'll say that because Chuck Schumer posted online, which is what everybody does, right? That he wants people. He created a tip line for what he calls whistleblowers, to report government abuses of power. And it turns out that and Ginny sent me this wonderful item. It's great. So Chuck Schumer with a whistleblower hotline, a tip line to report abuses of power. Then Ted Cruz jumped in.
I got to make a cup of coffee.
Chuck Schumer's online whistleblower tip line and said, "Great, I want to report Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer. Let's start there, shall we?" And there's a comedian named Tim Young who said, "We already have that. It's called Doge, right?" Then Elon Musk.
Randy. Nobody's seen that comment. It's gone. Bye, Randy.
Definitely done crime. And that's how the Democrats.
Hey, Randy, I timed you out for 10 minutes. I'm going to go put water on for my coffee.
Let's find a crime to hang him with because that's what LaVenchi Barrett.
Rando, you're nothing but a fat, fucking big-ass baby.
That's what
your mother spoiled you.
Democrats do all the time.
Fucking crybaby.
Party isn't. Man, oh man. Yeah, and who is it? Katie Pavlich, who you may see occasionally on the television, said, "I have someone to report, pictured here at the Supreme Court threatening Justices Kavanaugh and Gorsuch." I think that's a good idea, too. Now, who did that again, Michael? Oh, yeah. That was the Lizard King. That was Chuck Schumer threatening two Supreme Court justices. And then what happened? Oh, and then a crazy man with a gun showed up outside the home of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you
will pay the price. And then the crazed gunman with additional magazines of ammo and burglary tools and kidnapping tools showed up outside the home. He traveled from across the country, and he was planning on murdering 3 Supreme Court justices, inspired by the Lizard King, by Chuck Schumer, who should obviously experience a pre-dawn FBI battering ram raid with armored vehicles and helmets with flashlights. I like the helmets with flashlights part. That's one of my favorite parts. And, of course, I guess for this one, we don't want a CNN camera crew because they'd never air it. Better make it a Newsmax camera crew. Make it a Newsmax camera crew, and then it will be. It'll get the coverage that it deserves. Remarkable stuff. Yeah. So Chuck Schumer calling for whistleblowers to come forward and report abuses of power, and that is what Doge is doing. The Democrat Party is not only the party of abnormal and of lunacy and of madness and of violence and of political street violence and of everything bad. They support Hamas and Al Qaeda when they can. Remarkable stuff. But they're the party of waste, fraud, and abuse. And we know this because if you stand up and say, I'm here to fight waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, they shout you down, scream at you, throw batteries at you like they're Philadelphia hockey fans. And they bring batteries to throw at hockey games at hockey players. And it's kind of, they heat up pennies with lighters and throw them on the ice.
Randall, you don't make any sense. You want to take me down and get rid of me. But by coming in here, you're giving me views. Why would you even come in? Why don't you just ignore me? You can't. You have nobody. Randy has nobody. Randy, you can't go live. Nobody comes to your chat. You fucking drove them all out. You did exactly what Wiggin accused me of doing, fucking banning people all the time. I don't do that shit. Anybody can come into my chat. They post nonsense, then I'm going to get rid of it. You, on the other hand, when you had a wrench, and that's why you don't have a wrench at JC's no more, because you abuse your power. You guys all abuse your fucking powers if you're given power. So thanks for the 2 views so far, Randy. I appreciate it. I timed you out for 10 minutes on both of them. But nobody else will see it because nobody else has a wrench. I took Wiggins' wrench. That's what I get for being nice. That's the last time, Wiggin. Never being nice to you ever again. Never.
I love your snark because I am also snark. And I love everything you said about my former residence in Philly. I lived there until 1970. I moved up there and went to Bucks County.
Nobody needs a rent in this chat with me. Unless they have a link to watch something decent. No. No.
All the shooting and the mayhem.
I'm not having that in my chat over wrenches.
Democrat madness of Chicago.
Everybody's had a wrench, Charlie. Rusty, everybody's had a wrench. JC, everybody that that streams and that, they've all had wrenches in here. They'd never give me a wrench. JC did it, but she played games with it. They accused me of fucking using it when I didn't. She had to because I didn't use it. So
I did. And let me.
Yeah, Whipperman will fuck it out. Oh, kick Billy out. Billy doesn't deserve to be here. So fuck you, JC. Every time I see my mother's picture, JC, I hate you just that much more. Every time I see my mother's picture, JC, I fucking hate you, bitch. You should have never gave my mother's picture out, JC. Bad move. Now I hate you, JC. I tried to like you, but now I hate you. Your stream sucks. Your guests suck. Your panel sucks. Angie sucks. Monica sucks. They all fucking suck over there, JC. Your chat sucks.
Yeah, Mahomes.
Nothing but a bunch of Trump haters. Well, you're going to get far with your 20 people.
Super Bowl day is the wrong day to have an off day, but boy, did he have.
That's all you got.
And you're right. It was glory to God.
Get all them viewers, but you don't get all them side chatters. They don't post.
And I've seen him do that before earlier in the season.
Most of them people don't like you, JC, and you even admit it. You have way more enemies than I do, JC.
And good for them. Then The networks usually try to cut that stuff out. It was Fox.
That's not good.
Lauren Daigle.
I'm making this my career, JC. How you like that? Yeah, I found a new career. And I'm like Trump. I work for free. My time is the most valuable out here, JC. My time is way more valuable than your time.
It's the left, you know, and they love to racialize everything and racially divide.
Monica thinks she's all freed. That Vegas chat sucks.
They love to racially polarize.
Somebody, who the hell was it, posted it? It's run by liberals. Everyone who runs that fucking chat, yeah, they're anti-Trump.
And they're still racially polarizing.
That's all they got. That's all they have.
At every turn, this lift every voice and saying, fine, fine, fine. You know, at the right occasion, fine, fine. But they must infuse every public event with racial conflict and racial
report
division.
Me, Randy. Go ahead.
And that's the role that
dumb
one
fuck.
of the many vile and repugnant roles that the Democrat Party.
You're a repugnant person. You really are a vile fucking. Oh, you're just putrid, Randy. You're just a putrid person. Look that up, I dare you.
I don't know who they're talking to, but they're not talking to people.
I hold the record. I sent all you motherfuckers running to JC. Oh, Billy. Oh, he's spamming. Oh.
We are seeing a
as you spam
in America.
Randy spams, logical spams. They all fucking
open, and people are realizing that the Democrat Party has
Will Durant spams.
You know, you've got
Rob King Rob spams.
Gabbard, who again, Democrat. Member of the House of Representatives from Hawaii, a U.S. Army officer, served in an actual combat zone, unlike Minnesota Governor and Vice Presidential running mate Tim Walz. And she was a Democrat for a long, long time. Then she left the Democrat Party plantation, and now they're trying to keep her from being confirmed in the Senate because she is not singing from the party sheet music. She must be stopped. She must be destroyed. And you hear them all over the place, the Democrats condemning her, attacking her, and accusing her of all kinds. You know, Hillary Clinton accused her of being a Russian agent. Isn't that the word she used? Agent? Asset? Russian
this woman
asset.
Is a military veteran, a pilot.
Yeah, you know, it is. It's just amazing. Now the media.
I was watching that day when Hillary did that.
Of the Democrat
Party, and the Russian asset.
Corrupted by a political party which is very corrupt to its core, going back to Jefferson Davis and beyond. They're really something. But now the Democrats are doing everything they can to stop Tulsi Gabbard from being confirmed. And as the director of national intelligence, DNI, she's an Army officer, still an Army Reserve officer. And the Democrats are doing everything they can they want to turn a couple of Republicans against her to keep her from getting in, because that would be a Democrat Party victory. And honestly, it's time the Republicans in the Senate just, you know, saddled up. And if you really don't like her for some reason, just take one for the team and stop undermining and sabotaging your own political party. Because, you know, it's an individual sport, but it's also a team sport, as I like to say, because it's true. And Michael Piercy's making faces at me over there. What is that? Who is it? The coach.
I'm just waiting for my water to boil so I can make a cup of coffee.
Yeah, and
I gotta go
Michael
check
Piercy
it.
just went to the magic machine and found this.
How good does this feel, knowing that you beat the Cubans? Yeah, all glory to God, first and foremost. But that's a great football team, and we had to come out and play our best, and we did.
Yeah, you know, Nick came out, went to the cameras, and he's doing glory be to God, and yeah, it is. Yeah, I suppose the Democrats usually praise Allah and then they self-immolate. You know, the Democrats. How many self-immolations have they had lately, Louise? The Democrats. Yeah, they had, I think, seven. They had that guy self-immolate at the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas in the Elon Musk Tesla truck. He self-immolated and blew himself up. He was hoping to kill a whole lot of people in a suicide attack. This is Democrats now. They're self-immolating. They got suicide. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean,
Right.
This is what it is. It's crazy against sin.
It is. It is. And look, the Democrats have launched more suicide attacks than I can even remember right now, usually against the police, sometimes against Republican members of Congress. Suicide attack where James Hodgkinson of the Bernie Sanders campaign shot and nearly killed Congressman Steve Scalise, wanted to mow down the whole baseball field of Republicans. That was a clear suicide attack. Suicide attack on the U.S. Capitol Police, where one U.S. Capitol police officer was murdered, Billy Evans, and in a suicide attack, and another severely wounded by the psychotic suicide attack.
Last one.
We've had in Dallas and Baton Rouge and New York City, officers Ramos and Liu. Democrat Party suicide attacks are now commonplace. Democrat Party self-immolations are now common enough. We've had 7 of them.
Hey, Whiskey, go set yourself on fire, will you?
Immolated during the Vietnam War. I'm not making this up. And 7 Democrats have self-immolated. The Democrat Party is unwell. Chuck Schumer is unwell. He's a danger to what is he a danger? A danger to democracy. Isn't that what they say everybody is when you don't vote the same way as these radicals, as these lizards? Louise, thank you. And thank you for getting better as a Philly fan. I know it must have been, a long journey. Good journey. They like that word.
Keep trying.
Louise, thank you very much. President Trump coming up. All kinds of movement in the government. And the Democrats, they really want to keep the waste, fraud, and abuse in place. They are the party of waste, fraud, and abuse. WFA. I wish you call them the WFA. That'd be their rapper name.
Thank God. Thank you, Jesus.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Light volume around the DMV.
Biggest news of the day.
Delay that we had on 295.
DA blocked me in Vegas chat. I'm using one account, one phone.
Between the Beltway and the Spout Run Parkway in that long-term work zone due to the incoming snow. Brief delay on the Maryland Beltway outer with approaching.
I have a laptop and I have several phones. I could fucking just spam that fucker all day long if that's, that's what you want.
Snow this afternoon with a high in the mid-30s. Snow ending overnight.
I got your spam right there.
Low 32.
DA blocks me and then chats with Whippermantle. You're gay, DA. You're fucking gay.
And I interview guest experts. David Anderson, I love what you said. I always say you never learn in an
Yeah, you're fucking gay.
We want to. Tony Robbins, thank you so much for being here.
Of course, everybody loses money investing. Make sure you win the one.
Don't respond to him, Charlie. Do not respond to these fucking idiots in my chat, Charlie. Don't talk to Randy.
Sorry, professional cat drag party. Drinking responsibly is knowing your limits. If you are over yours, ask.
Ignore that fucker.
To get you safe. To learn more about drinking responsibly, go to beforeyoudrink.org. Oh.
Here's your boy, JC. He is your responsibility, JC. So isn't Whippermantle. Because you guys gave them all my information.
For a local news source you can trust.
Okay, good. You didn't see him. Good. He's trying to talk to you, and I fucking removed it.
WMAL.com. Making sense of your world online. Imagine the hospital experience.
Randy's a jealous little bitch.
And a serious diagnosis.
He can't even get a date with a one-legged woman.
For days, weeks, months. Now imagine you're a child. This is why.
Well, Charlie, you know that Monica supports Whippermantle.
Build resilience, bolster confidence, and change their outlook because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org to learn more. Clarity and content for a complex world.
Specific than ever before.
News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news.
Today's students are tomorrow's.
That's right, Angie Fox. A man doesn't want a woman who's going to abandon his kids.
For students and teachers in the community and beyond. Learn more at donorschoose.org.
Well, that's where the fight lies right now. Because Monica is connected to Alicia. And Wiggins back sucking fucking Gotti's cock.
Making sense of the news.
Yeah, they're doing a 69. I'm not really sure what's going on there. After Wiggins wanted me to troll Gotti.
I had to learn to live with the scars.
Makes a lot of sense.
Visible and invisible.
And then you got Shannon bragging up, if I can excuse my vacant stare, he's 183 pounds. He's all fucking, he's got, you're an idiot, Shannon. This is why I call you Shallow Shay. Because you are fucking shallow there, lady. You're one shallow fucking bitch. You got kicked out of JC's. Why is that? You women can't get along. That's one thing about out here. Of all the shit going on, it's the women who don't get along. And then the little soy boys that follow them, they got to back them up. They won't get a wrench at their chat or whatever.
That was an episode of my podcast.
Yeah, Rusty loaded her fucking chat up with male wrenches.
She's a sociologist and a professor of health policy in the School of Medicine.
And what? Oh, she's friends. You know why she's friends with Ms. Liz? Because Ms. Liz is fucking halfway across the world. There's no, Michelangelo, touching God. Michelangelo on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, right? Never been there. But I know why it's painted like that. Michelangelo asked, who really knows God? Does God really exist? Why are we here? God, Michelangelo, humanity. Rob Noxious thinks that fucking that drawing that Michelangelo or what's his name did. That's the Da Vinci Code. That's some kind of secret code the Masons are taking over and all that shit. No, it was for medical purposes because they had a lot of death and disease back in them days. People were dying. They had no idea why they were fucking, You ever see a person with cancer and shit growing out their face and all kinds of weird shit? You're an idiot, Rob Noxious. You don't know jack shit.
Lots and lots of people. The party is mental. It's a mental breakdown. And they're the party of...
Gotti probably has a very large block list, but he still watches. He has another account where he can see what you're saying. Because they will respond to each other. That's what they do. They're chicken shits.
Couldn't be better.
Wow. Here her was on that debate stage, of course, and I'm sitting there thinking through.
All right, Randy. I gotta go check my water again. It looks like I didn't get all the soap out of the pot, so I fucking rinsed it out better and put some fresh water on to boil because I don't want my coffee to taste like soap. I heated up tomato soup in it last night and I didn't wash it. I did before I just used it. So I'll take my phone with me this time, you fucking fat motherfucker. And I'll catch you when you're not looking. Right there, Andy. You can suck it.
You remember this from the old days. You were either a Ginger or a Marianne guy, right?
I was like,
a Tulsi in there.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Guy. I love the strength that woman has. I love her forward thinking. She never gets taken.
And now she's given up on the Democrat Party like so many other rational and reasonable people.
WMALFM Woodward 1. Media station, making sense of the news. Talk 105.9.
News now. WMAL News at 10. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. Don't abandon your cars just yet. There's no snow on the ground, and there won't be for most of you until after lunch, if not later.
We're looking at the potential for some light snow to develop around lunchtime and carry us through the afternoon. It'll pick up in intensity later tonight, and we could see some heavier pockets while you sleep as that colder air moves in. 3 to 6 inches of snow likely by dawn tomorrow. Could be a few spots have a little higher amounts, a little lesser amounts off to the north.
7 News meteorologist Brian Vandegraff. With snow impacting the afternoon rush hour, we're dealing with early dismissals. The federal government closes at 2 this afternoon. There is an option for unscheduled leave or telework. Schools are all over the place. Some closed. Most will be dismissing anywhere from 2 to 3.5 hours early. Few are holding out from any announcement. Montgomery County says it'll have something to say before noon on early dismissal. Hundreds of thousands of residents in southern Prince George's County are without water. This as the snow approaches.
About 1 o'clock this morning.
Lynn Reagans with WSSC says the break is down a steep ravine off the Beltway in Prince George's County.
About 20 feet down. So up there and begin to start making these repairs.
An alternative water main is being put into service, but even so, residents will need to boil water for 1 minute, then cool before any consumption.
When customers Pennsylvania as well as some
Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
Before the snow arrives this afternoon, federal workers will protest DOJ's gutting of the federal workforce in a noon rally at Upper Senate Park.
The rally to save the civil service is being hosted by the American Federation of Government Employees. President Everett Kelly.
I ask federal workers, do not surrender. Okay? We're in this fight, and we need to fight. We need to fight like we've never fought before. And we got to make sure that we get our communities involved.
President Trump's praised Elon Musk's work with Doge and says he's finding fraud and cutting wasteful spending. Heather Curtis on WMAL and WMAL.com.
In Montgomery County, a move to keep an eye on technology that keeps an eye on you.
Council President Kate Stewart is co-sponsoring legislation aimed at establishing safeguards in the county's acquisition and use of surveillance technology, devices, hardware, and software that collect data, audio, and video on what people are up to. Stewart says the law would require impact reports describing the tech.
Its purposes, deployment factors, cost, effectiveness, and any potential impacts on civil rights and liberties.
And it would outline measures to protect the public from any negative impacts of the surveillance tech. Matt Coates on WMAL and WMAL.com.
The regulator for Virginia high school sports now says it will limit participation on girls' teams to students assigned female at birth. Just last week, the Virginia High School League was sticking with its policy to allow transgender students to apply for waivers. A spokesman telling WMAL.
So this will be a continuing dialogue throughout the weekend.
Well, now the change has been made. Governor Glenn Youngkin's response on X, quote, common sense wins. The Dow is down 88 points, NASDAQ down 38, traffic and weather next.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's disease research program is paving the way for a cure. Learn about symptoms, diagnosis, and breakthrough research at brightfocus.org or call us at 1-855-345-6237 for free resources.
Attention taxpayers, the IRS is intensifying collections in 2025. If you owe $10,000 or more or have unfiled tax returns, it's time to take action. Tax Network USA
Coffee's hot.
Lawyers have saved clients over $1 billion. They're ready to negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Don't risk wage garnishment, seizure, or losing your home. Call 1-800-278-9000 today.
Oh, that's been going on since I've been here. Owls, were you around when Wingen begged me to go live? We need more male streamers. Remember that? Let's talk about that. Wingen, yeah, he encouraged go live. Go. Oh yeah, it went on for months and months and months, and we had some of the same argument. Somebody would troll me in his chat, and I respond, and he'd fucking bitch at me. So you know what, Owls? Say goodbye.
You can also experience a full body.
You're hidden.
Arrowhead workouts, the perfect blend of hard pumping cardio and strength.
Come in under a different name, whatever you do, Owls. I really don't need your input, Owls. I don't.
just like a personal trainer. Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners.
People are always fucking giving me unsolicited advice, and most of the time it's no good.
Tonal 200 for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com. Promo code Tonal 200 for $200 off.
Wiggin wants this fight, so I'm going to fight with him. I'm going to fight with you, Wiggin. That's what you want. All right? You want to fight with Billy. You want to fucking troll Billy. You and your little fucking friends. That's what you're going to get. You ain't got the balls to come in here, Wiggin. If you do, what are you going to do? You're going to come up on my panel and say the N-word? Huh?
The WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast. Winter storm warning for the remainder of the afternoon into the overnight, 3 to 6 inches for the metro area. Higher amounts farther south. Temperatures will be in the 30s. Snow will drop to a close early tomorrow morning with rain developing tomorrow evening. I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve. First alert weather center.
34 at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
And then screening worldwide on the WMAL app. This plane.
President Trump attended last night's game, making the first. Let's hear some more jokes. Of course, President Trump attended last night's game, making the first sitting president to attend the Super Bowl. It was a strange night. Trump got cheered, Taylor Swift got booed, and the Chiefs stunk. It was like the Super Bowl was played on Earth 2. Upside down. What the heck was going
on? Then the entire audience was kidnapped by Tren de Aragua, the street gang from Venezuela. We still don't know where they are. A little bit sad, a little bit funny. That's sad. Well. Good Tuesday to you all, and welcome back once again to our humble radio broadcast.
Well, I hope that's not you there, Pat Clarkson.
The Democrats will fight against anything rational.
Because if it is,
anything reasonable,
I just banned them
anything
both.
Responsible, anything normal, anything pro-American. And they will fight you hammer and claw, hammer and sickle. They will suck the lifeblood. Did Michael pause there for a second? What? What are they? The lifeblood out of the body politic of the United States. Whether you're standing for long or they're just running errands, you shouldn't have to deal with foot knee injuries. Where GFI shoes come in for helping to relieve occasional pain or discomfort caused by walking, running, or prolonged standing. Built with VersaShock technology, GFI shoes help absorb harmful shock and return energy with every step. Listen, the nice people at GFI sent a pair of their shoes to me and a pair for my best girl.
Why are they playing a commercial?
City, We hike around the city with our GFI shoes, and when we finish hiking around the city, our feet feel
What in the fuck are they fucking doing?
Emergency help.
Ignorant.
His most trusted name in emergency preparedness is offering a special discount on their Mega 3-month emergency food kit. Each kit provides over 250 calories daily for 90 days. These aren't typical survival rations. My Patriot Supply provides delicious meals and extras, including...
There shouldn't be a commercial playing right now.
Fruits and veggies.
That shouldn't be happening.
Being prepared.
My show's being preempted.
Go to mypatriotsupply.com and take advantage of this $250 discount to secure your family's future now. If you order by 3 p.m., your order will ship within the same day, so you'll be prepared in no time. That's mypatriotsupply.com.
Holy fuck, they dragging that motherfucker on.
Mypatriotsupply.com.
You have 3 ex-wives.
Another commercial.
Trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size.
Another
of the policy
commercial.
you had to purchase for your previous mistakes. If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider 800-859-3220.
That's fucked up.
Big Lou is intimately familiar.
Makes me
with your
think
problems.
if I'm not being hacked by somebody, that's Google doing that. It's the only possibility. Because they're not going to preempt their own show.
We have a solution for your previous policies as well.
If
you may even
I'm going to have to get me an AM/FM radio. They won't be able to do it with that.
Call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on.
Well, they could.
Call
You know,
Provider.
they'd have to interrupt me.
3220. That's 800-859.
That's fucked up.
3220 for $1 million.
Must be Chris Plant is talking about something they don't want anybody to hear.
859-3220. 800-859.
Yeah, I know what it is.
3220.
That's fucked up.
Is actually going $1 trillion deeper in debt every 100 days. That's why thousands are turning to Goldco, a top-rated gold company, to diversify their savings.
That's them doing that? I have no idea. I should be hearing Chris Plant's voice.
But on qualified purchases, they'll give you up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver. Call 855-838-GOLD. That's 855-838-GOLD. Performance may vary. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Are you over 50?
Wow.
Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and
That's
Don'ts
fucked
for
up.
Baby Boomers.
That's too many commercials. They're interrupting my program.
Annuity Rate Report. Summarize.
800-715-9880.
That's right. Annuity Do's and Don'ts.
Something ain't right. Maybe they're having technical difficulties. I have no idea.
Today.
Call 800-715-9880.
That's pretty fucked up.
715-9880.
Well, I'm going to have to buy another AM/FM radio because I can get that on the radio. I can sit here AM station and get WABC out of New York City.
Listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guarantee.
Here's a reason they call New York City Radio City Music Hall.
So call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-466-9625.
Who invented the radio?
Used to be Twitter. You got to say that every time you mention X, right? It's formerly known as Twitter.
See, you talking about Elon Musk?
Just discovered.
They fucking they blurted over all that. There should have been no commercials for the last 3 minutes.
Complete overhaul of FEMA that could even see.
There you go, DA. Fucking day late and a dollar short. Blocks me and fucking argues with Whipperman. What a dumb fuck. You're sickening, DA. You support the fucking terrorist. Ignorant son of a bitch right there, Wiggin. Your boy, DA.
In the agency, can you imagine such a thing as that?
You can't be friends with Petro Papadiklis and not be a fucking moron.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, remarkable stuff.
It's like you say, Wiggin, they're all fake conservatives. You're going to call me a fucking... You're going to say that I voted for Biden?
They're fighting you.
You don't even vote, Wiggin.
They're fighting you. Because they are not on our side.
And you know, Wiggin, if you are a Google moderator, what you're doing is wrong.
The government computer.
If you actually work for Google and you doing what you're doing, right, you shouldn't be allowed to do that being a Google moderator. This is why Google and all of them are in court violating fucking antitrust laws.
In the process of trying to stop you because they're crazy, but they're saying, "Oh no,
big evil corporation, you fucking ain't right." There it is, there, Zoofless. Google's the most evil fucking corporation in America today.
They're government people, Democrat Party government people who are there to abuse the money and the power. They can have access to all the computers. But if a special government employee, Elon Musk, it gets access to what's going on in the Treasury Department computers. I love all this stuff. Every idiot says, what about my social security number? Like Elon Musk, the richest man in the history of the world, is interested in your social security number because he's going to do what with it? And by the way, there are about 2 million government employees. They were unelected that you've never heard of. That have
Rusty, I hate to tell you, if they find you with somebody's social security number and you're doing that, that's a federal offense. They don't need to have you arrested. The government can audit you. Wherever you live, they can arrest you for that.
Yeah, he created 6 corporations when he was 16 years old.
You're violating somebody's privacy. It's against the law.
Because it was a waste of time for him. Bill Gates dropped out.
No, Rusty will have to answer to God. Wait till she gets to the fucking gates of heaven. Oh, St. Peter is going to look at her and fucking giggle.
But that's not important now, is it? So pretty amazing stuff. So Musk's threat could put to expose government corruption could put Democrat Mayor of New York, Eric Adams, in an awkward position as his honor has desperately pleaded for funding from the federal government during his years-long migrant crisis that has cost the city $7 billion. I think that should come out of Biden family bank accounts first and foremost, because
we got to recover this money. That's why New York's a fucking shithole.
And is
not because of me.
Insubordination to the president's executive order, Elon Musk wrote. Now, it's only 59 million of our taxpayer dollars, and the Democrats could care less. And you say it's against the law? They could care less. Excuse me, I keep doing that. They could not care less. It would be impossible for them to care less.
Right.
It's just a turn of phrase, but I understand. All right, so let's go to the idiot Democrats, because they love...
Better listen, whippy boy.
And if anybody...
You stupid kraut.
And these young people, I don't know if they're all young men, if they're young men and women, 21-year-old...
Fucking
really
cabbage head.
People, and they want access to government computers to find out where the money's going. And the Democrats are laying down in front
Whipper Mano is our Chuck Schumer. Just look at him. He looks just like him.
Disturbed Democrat congresswoman from
That's an awful big nose you have, Whipper.
Who shaves her head
just
like
once.
a Venezuelan gang member in prison.
The uncertainty and fear that you are feeling today is real.
Feel fear.
But I want you to know that every single person here and then some has your back.
Yeah.
And we're going to
We got your back. Sounds like Angie. I got your back. Shannon telling JC, I got your back. No matter what, JC, I got your back. Remember that, Shannon?
That last one didn't rhyme.
All right.
She should get a Pulitzer Prize, don't you think, for that BS, that bourgeois?
Taking it to the streets, the Doobie Brothers.
Presley. They're going to agitate. They're going to legislate.
That's your congresswoman, DA.
Legislate and agitate and not find them. The uncertainty and fear you feel.
That's one of the squad, DA, from Massachusetts.
You should be afraid.
Ayala Presley.
Live in terror.
Fucking shaved her head again.
Always reminds us of our favorite Reverend Al Charlatan.
But resist.
This.
But we must and we will much about that be committed.
Right. And agitate too.
Facebook don't like me.
And NBC News.
They don't.
We live in a very corrupt country. It's called the United States of America. And then there is this frou-frou snowflake, Chris Van Hollen, a radical left-wing extremist Democrat senator from Maryland, which I could drive a golf ball to from the rooftop of the building I'm in now in Washington, D.C. Chris Van Hollen, he's very excited because the Democrats, they like to litigate everything, drag it into the courts where they know they've got corrupt Democrat
what the
judges
fuck is that
they
guy's
place there
name?
because they're corrupt, who'll always side with the Democrat
And
Party.
I think he's from Sweden.
And they will stop Trump, even though he's the chief
he's
executive
Swedish.
of the executive branch. And
A UFC fighter.
Van Hollen's in the legislature.
One of the best.
Goodness for the courts.
Struck with his Haas.
Filings because we've seen such a flurry of illegal
I'll have to
activity.
look it up.
It's all illegal activity.
Whipper Mano, that guy is ashamed of
It's all
you.
illegal activity. So they're accusing you They should be dragged into court for
You know,
slander and
Whipperman, he lives on the kind of the north side of the Swiss Alps.
should be taken away from them. Chris Van Hoen.
Moron.
Boss wants to shut down the CFPB, but we're here to say we're going to shut down Elon Musk's illegal operation.
It's illegal. It's the CFPB.
Bring it, boys.
And Elizabeth Warren created the CFPB. They've got signs and things, all these idiots, Democrats, rank and file maroons, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, created by Pocahontas, who pretended to be an Indian, Chris Van Hollen. Didn't help create it. It's all hers. And then, Manischewitz, I've got Elizabeth Warren for you, too. She's one of my favorites. She is really certifiably insane. She was introduced to politics by an NBC News executive when she was a Harvard professor.
Really?
Where they hired her because
wow, look
she's
at this.
A Native American. She's not a Native American, but that's okay because she's a left-wing radical Democrat. Is she transgender, Michael, or is that... You think that...
Are you transgendered there, Spalding?
That's a natural mustache. Got Elizabeth Warren...
You fucking laying in bed or what?
She's not a member of any...
Do you even have a chair to sit in?
She's a fraud, a charlatan. Kind of like the Reverend Al Charlatan. And I've got a lot of President Trump coming
Keep
up
crying,
on a
fat boy.
range of topics, great ones.
Keep crying. Now I got your channel.
Like all of
I already had it.
do.
Ain't much there. Nobody goes to your fucking chat. I don't. I peeked at Shannon's. Shallow Shay, oh shallow Shay, wherefore art thou, shallow Shay? Shallow Shay says I need to read more. Shallow, bring your fucking books up here. I want to read your books. I want to see what your books have to say. Because I am a book reader.
Diagnosis and breakthrough research at
I ain't going to tell you what I read, though, but you could probably figure it out. One of my favorite books to read, actually, is the dictionary. That's the best one to read. Without the dictionary, what, you know? I mean, look at Whipperman. He tries to use the English language. He doesn't know the difference between does and doesn't, is and are. He's just brain dead. I seen him up on your fucking panel. Ooh, he's at a ski slope. Ooh. Ooh. A dumb fucker tried to tell me that America, we don't have any ski slopes over 5,000 feet. Yeah, I mean, Aspen, Colorado. Come on. The Olympics were in Lake Placid. I joined the Navy. I was in San Diego during the Winter Olympics. I joined the Navy on August 20, 1980. I left for basic training on the 9th of September. 8 weeks later, I come out of boot camp, went straight to San Diego. And since it was just before Christmas, my school, I postponed the school. They were asking for volunteers. I got to work in the office where all of the instructors for the school, for the supply schools and all that, at the San Diego Naval Training Base. And E9 took me on tour of Coronado Island with his family because his dad was a Marine and he was a black man. Another guy took me to his home a lot to eat dinner because I worked there. He was a Filipino. Bob Collada. He became a warrant officer. He went LDO, you dumb fucker, Patrick Rowe. Limited duty officer means a warrant officer is a limited duty officer, you dumb fucker. And there's 4 different warrant officers. You don't know shit. Major league fuckable. What a dumb fuck. Go argue with Rusty and all them others. You fucking women out here, you fucking think I want one of you fuckers?
Men and women. United States Marine Corps. Ready.
Like, what's his name there on fucking High Plains Drifter? I could do better than you in a 2-bit whorehouse. Monica Ann thought she was going to be a madam. She wants to run a whorehouse. She wants to. She thinks she's the perfect type to run a bordello. Wow, Monica, you fucking they blocked me. Kellyanne, where the fuck are you at? Because you could shed a light on a lot of this shit. You could get them all going. Ain't nothing stopping you from coming here, Kelly. I think you should. I know you're out here somewhere, Kelly. Rusty tried to say you're not out here. Yeah, you are. The favorite thing that you guys to do is to hide. I do it and you get mad.
Before I could legally order a drink. Now my goal is to help you.
Yes, as a kid, there was the encyclopedias in my house. Yes, I fucking read every single one of them motherfuckers. I would take them to school with me. Whatever one I might have been reading at the time. By 6th grade, I was an avid reader. Probably didn't read them enough. My attention started. My biggest problem in school was girls. Because I had quite a few girlfriends. I didn't have sex until I met Terry. She was the first one to stick her hands down my pants. The women say yes. That's all there is to it. Yeah, women are women, and they have their way of letting you know. Yeah, I married a very jealous person. I couldn't even look at another woman without getting threatened. You want your eyes scratched out? What the fuck?
All right, Democrat Party. I had to tell you, last night I was downtown in Washington, D.C., and I was talking to Matthew Foldy, and his phone made a noise, and they said, a handful of blocks away in Washington, D.C. at Union Station, the main train station in Washington. He said, there's just been a shooting at Union Station. Turns out there was a guy who's with CNN that was standing there and watched this assassination-style targeted killing apparently in Union Station yesterday. And I want to share that with you coming up because there are a couple.
Where are you, King Rob? There's no fucking way that guy has a job. How the fuck can you stay up all morning long? Yeah. That fucker's always in chat. Well, what the fuck what kind of job can a guy like that have where he's in? Does he make that good of money here in YouTube? I mean, I watched him in Flash's chat. And let's see, where else was he fucking posting? Right? Constantly. Then makes like he's a Trump supporter. You're not king of the panel, sorry. You don't dare come up here on your own, King Rob. Come on up, King Rob, I dare you. You chicken shit. Bring Wiggin with you.
That's very good. Really good stuff. Michael, thank you. Fun call. Great Chicago
Are
call.
you afraid I'm going to get views?
I felt like
they're afraid I'm going to get views if they do it.
Gotta say, that was very good.
As they view it. I wonder, Wiggin, you going to make another stream about me? You think you can go 30 days without saying my name or showing a banana or anything like that? Your girl sat there and went just to clap and say, that's Alicia.
People working for the president of the United States.
Getting paid.
Where our money's going. Well,
you going to spend another 10 grand?
I just like that imagery. I'm sorry. I keep using it. to try to stop that. And David Hogg, the child prophet of doom on the Second Amendment, the school shooting guy in Florida, and he is the number 2 guy in the Democrat Party now.
This is the Chris Plant Show.
That's fucked up.
Making sense of the news.
David Hogg, vice chair of the DNC. I got banned off of Twitter because I fucking went to his site, fucking posted. I think I asked something like, what would you do if a girl held a gun to your head and made you lick your snatch? That got me fucking out. I don't dare say it up here, Google. So you guys need to be less sensitive, like Wiggin tells me. I'm too sensitive. Come on, King Rob. Now is your opportunity. Come up and beat me up on my own panel. Come on. I dare you. Yeah, I see Gotti up on Zenny's panel. You guys are so fucked up in the head. Gotti won't go on camera. Why is that, Gotti? I want to see you do a push-up. Yeah, Wiggin turns his camera on. Let me see you do a push-up, Wiggin. I bet that fucker couldn't do 10 push-ups. He fucking rolls his own cigarettes. That's why his fucking face is the color it is. He ain't got no teeth. He stinks to high heaven. She made him buy a new couch. That fucking thing. Imagine what his bed is like. Did you buy a new bed too? You're a slob, Wiggin. I'm run shit around here. I run shit around here. Man, I run shit around here. Yeah, I run shit around here. Yeah. As your girlfriend, she did it before, talked about your fucking son's cocaine habit. So he's still into it. Oh, he took her to the store once, to the marijuana store. Mailman's here. Did you guys see the cops out in the driveway yesterday talking to the mailman? I got a little action goes on around here. You got some fucking hoodlums, fucking pricks. But Wiggin, you want to try to come up here again? What are you gonna do, Wiggin? You run your mouth on your fucking piano. Oh, let Hayden live. We gotta have Hayden. Then you fucking change your mind. Who do you fucking really think you are? Holy fuck, this shit really gets to you guys. I mean, it is part of real life. But you guys are just fucking. Randy's the worst. Oh, Randy, I wish Louis Farrakhan's fucking mothership would hurry up and get here. He'd just take you away. I know you want to go to Mars to live. You don't like none of the humans here. My meter reads 9. I must say something. Right? If they're not watching me for the entertainment, they're watching me to try to make their own content. Rum tried it. Boy, it didn't take them long to make a couple videos from JC's chat going in there, and JC just sit. You're a thumb sucker, JC. You won't even admit that you were wrong about 2020 and that you actually lost the bet. And I don't demand apologies. Your actions speak very loudly, or inactions, JC. Oh, she's got a nice hat. You think saying something kind about her after all of this is going to fucking smooth things over? After you wrongly accuse me of doxing your family? That's you, JC. All your little friends. Every single one of them. Come on, JC. Come up and tell me how Trump's going to fail and the country's going to go in the shithole. Because that's what Whipper and all of them, that's what they want us to all to believe. Whipper's not stopping. And he's got the little fucking avatar that your son Randy begged you to let him make and disseminate it. That's all you have. That's all you have again. You have my mother. But yet you cry about me doxing your fucking family. JC. Oh. Right in the lips. Both you and Rusty. Fucking mouthy bitches. You think I want to get into that shit? Rusty thinks she's beautiful? Oh, let me go jerk off. I'll be back. I gotta go rub one out to Rusty. She's so fucking wow. I'm so excited.
Their A section and below the phone.
I'm gonna hit you hard, Rusty. You dumb bitch.
Posts bizarre love letter tribute
ad lib
to accused killer Luigi Mangione, who murdered a healthcare CEO in New York City, gunning him down. And Democrats, they're the left.
They're listen up, Whip.
Gotta keep this in mind at all times. They're not liberals. They're the left. The left murders everybody. They have for 100 years. They've murdered 100 million people. That's not an embellishment. A D.C. bar held an event Monday for patrons to write love letters to Luigi Mangione, man charged with murder in the shooting death of United Healthcare CEO.
We're going to talk about you in a minute, Spalding.
Paper hearts with messages.
You and your disability and what's going to happen with it. You bring on your own disability. You overeat, you're fucking lazy, you're fucking overweight, obese. That's your fault.
Let's make out.
You shouldn't be drawing any disability because of that. That's your own fucking fault.
Spread out on a circular table toward the back of Snappy's small bar.
Go join a church. That's where charity starts at home.
Prospective pen pals, mostly women in their 20s and 30s, wrote letters to the.
You need Shannon to fucking be in YouTube. Otherwise, I mean, it's the same. Who gives a fuck about what you guys fucking talk about? Lame ass. I'm going to turn this up more.
To the table to grab supplies at one
JC.
And even appeared to have their child help them seal their envelope. None of the participants wanted to speak with the Washington Times about the letter campaign to Mr.
Told you, JC, every time I see my mother's picture, I'm going to hit you fucking 50 times harder. And they've been doing it a lot.
In the Democrat Party.
And fuck it, it's going to be hard to catch up to it.
Well. For those upset with the nation's healthcare system, when he was linked, you mean the video shows that it was him, to the December 4th.
And that one picture you have of me is my Twitter picture. This is Billy's mugshot.
And the Democrats are gushing with effusive praise and sexual desire.
That was the picture I took for Twitter.
Mangione, solely because he is a known murderer.
Idiot.
And he murdered a nice man, a father of two, a husband, a good man who had never done anything wrong, always kept his nose clean, rose to the
Big Pharma. Oh, Big Pharma.
His industry and his corporation. And became
Adam Schiff gets money from Big Pharma.
Named Luigi Mangione, who comes from an otherwise nice family.
We know Chuck Schumer gets money from Big Pharma.
And many of them right-thinking Americans, correct?
A few others.
Americans. One man tried to create some.
You know, the Congressional Black Caucus does because they're all about welfare.
Federal prisoner in Brooklyn by saying he was actually crafting this letter to Luigi from the Super Mario video game franchise. See, because, you know, he's got a nice Italian name, Luigi Mangione, and just amazing stuff. So the Democrats at this bar in Washington, D.C., in a regular neighborhood in Washington, a bartender at Snappy's said the idea came about because patrons had been vandalizing their bathroom walls with messages to Mr. Luigi Mangione. The graffiti ranged from straightforward statements of "Free Luigi" to more tongue-in-cheek statements such as, Luigi got big T and a play on LGBT because they want him to be transgender. Bartender also, that's the Democrat Party has a lot of mental illnesses that they're not trying to work their way through. They've settled into their mental illnesses. The same bartender also said whether or not people mail their letters is up to them. He said the bar isn't going to do it on their behalf. Just remarkable stuff. Democrats love murder. How many examples do you need? Also, speaking of which, speaking of Democrats love murder, there was a kind of an interesting, well, newsworthy. Maybe interesting is the wrong word. Again, I was down at Newsmax yesterday, and I was hanging out with my great friend and one of my classmates, showmates on the show, and he got his phone started making noise. Yeah, Matthew Foldy said, "Oh, look, my phone. There's just been a shooting at Union Station, which is not too many blocks away from where we were." And remarkably, the main train station where everybody commutes in and out of Washington, D.C. on the Metro and on Amtrak and on a regional train and all that stuff. Well, it turns out there was a CNN guy. CNN has one conservative guy that they have on it. Well, he was being attacked yesterday on that stupid channel where I used to work, right? And because he makes sense and he's normal, and they really don't like normal. But there was an amazing moment because this CNN guy was in Union Station when shots were fired right next to him, and a man was gunned down. And what's the problem with that? Scott Jennings in Union Station, and he tweeted pretty much right away, lickety-split, that he had just witnessed this. Now, Scott Jennings on his Twitter account said yesterday afternoon, "Not usually a breaking news reporter, but I was in Union Station when this happened. Heard the shots, saw the victim hit the floor at the bottom of the escalator." It's really hard at the bottom of the escalator too, isn't it? The victim hit the floor at the bottom of the escalator, saw two people flee the scene. Happened on second floor escalator near Andrews Ties. Got a little plug in for Andrews Ties there. It's a tie store in Union Station, Andrews Ties. They ran right past me, and people started tweeting back at him. You're kind of well known, although it's just CNN, so not many people are going to know you. But Scott Jennings is the one conservative guy, the Republican voting guy, and he was on there yesterday. He was on last night. And who's the idiot anchor? Oh, Abby Phillip, who got the Pulitzer Prize for being an idiot, I think. And they were talking last night about President Trump, naturally, because what else do they talk about? And Abby Phillip and the one Republican voter on CNN, Scott Jennings.
When the court says Congress, appropriated this money, you must unfreeze it while we litigate this. Why can't Trump comply with that?
So you're saying that a judge should decide how and when money is spent
A judge is saying
for years, and not the president of the United States?
Let me explain a little bit more. Let me explain it a little bit more slowly.
They always interrupt.
Congress
position on this. If you have an opinion, we can disagree.
You listen to me, because you're not listening and you're making claims.
You're not listening.
To the fact.
Billy, you're not listening. Sounds like Wiggin, doesn't it? I'm not listening.
I think Scabrous Tramp might be the appropriate.
Fuck you.
Well, first of all, Abby, Scabrous Tramp, Philip, I recall.
No,
Joe
Wiggin,
Biden
you don't
spreading
listen.
hundreds of billions of dollars across the country to buy votes from college students by paying off their loans. And
Your days of trolling me are over with, because I'm never coming back to your chat. You're not welcome here.
And their document and came back and did it again.
I don't need your fucking support.
Were you insulting people personally then?
I didn't need it when I started.
Pretty
You made a
amazing.
total ass of
Yeah,
yourself
so
when you did that.
Saying that, Trump can't do that now. And do they
So which is
look at
it?
and say, is this an
Did you
Obama appointee
did
or
you
a
and
Clinton
Gotti set me
appointee?
up, or were you
Biden
serious
appointee
about
that
Gotti being here and you
we
didn't
should
want him
know
here?
about?
Because you
But-
can't have it both
amazing
ways.
stuff. So that's Scott Jennings. I just wanted to refresh your memory on Scott Jennings. And he tweeted, not usually breaking news reporter, but saw the victim
I'm not the
hit
one that kept
floor
on you
after
about
they
your
finally
daughter.
Heard the shots, bottom of the escalator. bottom of the escalator. 2 people flee. And then people are tweeting back at him. You know, you're on TV and you're tweeting that you're now an eyewitness
Wiggin.
and the murderers ran by you.
It's between
Then
you and
should
I,
be
Wiggin.
concerned that the Democrat
Come on.
murderers with their Democrat illegal
I know
guns
you're sitting
are
home.
going to hunt you down and
You got
kill
no
you.
job.
But after the murder,
Well, you got a
it
job.
turned
You're
out
taking
it
care of an
was a
invalid. That's hard
feasible
work.
Shooting, and he was killed.
I'll give you
at
that.
Union Station, gunned down by 2 Democrats who ran by Scott Jennings from CNN. Pretty amazing stuff.
It explains your
welcome to
depression,
Washington,
and I'd
D.C.,
be
our nation's
depressed
capital.
too.
A lot of tourists come in through Union Station. You might want to. It's one of the most beautiful buildings in the country, and the Democrats
And don't give
have
you a right
turned
to treat
into a
everybody
shooter
else like
gallery.
shit, because that's what you do.
It keeps going back and forth. When I first moved here, it was a homeless shelter too, because the Democrats ruined it, and they were going to tear it down. It's one of the great historic buildings in the United States of America.
I'm not one of your
But
trolls.
they're not bright people. Man,
Keep saying I'm a troll. I'm not one of your
am
trolls.
telling you. Yeah, people are tweeting back at him. Juanita Broderick tweeted back at him. Wow, glad you're okay.
Meeting all the nuts out of this first, then the raisins, and the last thing's going to be
Assaulted
the
by Bill Clinton, of course,
M&Ms.
Juanita Broderick. I've met Juanita Broderick, a lovely person, and Bill Clinton is a pig, of course, but never mind that. Yeah, and somebody said you're a witness now, and since you're a public figure and presumably easy to find, I would not post this information online. Yeah, Carl Gottlieb said, Union Station was once considered a jewel. DC government is incapable of providing a safe environment for the people. That is true. And that reminds me, in fact, that there are a couple of Republicans. I've been talking about this for a long time, but there are a couple of Republicans in Congress, in the Senate, Senator Mike Lee, who is wonderful and great, and a member of the House, who is not in front of me, but they've created, I've got it here, but they've got a D.C. home rule. I live in D.C. I've lived here for decades. Home rule should be taken away from the nation's capital and given back to Congress, because that's how awful and horrible the Democrats are. Now, they came up with one of the worst backronyms we've ever seen. We were mocking it yesterday, but nevertheless. NBC fake news in Washington. D.C. home rule would be reversed under a bill just introduced in Congress. The Bowser Act. That's the name of our mayor, Mayor Muriel Bowser. I'm in favor of taking away home rule.
Member of Sean O'Neill from the 70s.
Democrats of Washington. You know, they had Trayon White and Muriel Bowser, and they think the Jews make it snow. It's supposed to snow today. Everybody's already panicking. You can't find anything white in the grocery store anymore, which is racist. Can't get paper towels, toilet paper, milk. What else can't you get? Anything white. Eggs, can't get eggs, even though they're like $12 for a dozen now, thanks to Joe Biden killing all the chickens. The legislation, this is great stuff. Take it back, hand it over to the Congress, which is the way the founders of this country had envisioned the nation's capital functioning. Legislation proposed by 2 Republican members of Congress would strip the D.C. government of its powers, including the mayor and D.C. council. Good. As a longtime resident, I say good, because even Congress could not be worse than what the Democrats are doing in Washington right now. So the new bill is called the Bowser Act, is named for D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, and it comes as the district also braces for impacts from policy changes made by the Trump administration. Oh, poor them. You think that means fewer people will be shot? Is that going to be the problem? Those Trump administration impacts include the possibility of federal workers being forced back to the office. Oh, no. The employees that we pay have to go to work. Oh, what are we going to do? While thousands more face potential layoffs. No, the government should always grow, just grow and grow and grow like a tumor. But the Bringing Oversight to Washington and Safety to Every Resident Act, see, that's a acronym for Bowser. Bringing Oversight to Washington and Safety to Every Resident Act, the Bowser Act, originated from Utah Senator Mike Lee, a practical genius, and Tennessee Representative Andy Ogles, both Republican congressmen, have been highly critical of Bowser and the D.C. Council in the past. That sounds good to me. I'm in favor of the Bowser Act. Pretty amazing stuff. Lee and Ogles gave a short list of reasons they want to repeal D.C.'s Home Rule Charter. The list includes the federal bribery charge against former council member Trayon White, the virulent anti-Semite who thinks that the Rothschild family makes it snow because they want to take over the city. Not the brightest guy in the world. And crime in the District of Columbia, including carjackings and homicides. And then the NBC fake people say, while D.C. saw an increase in homicides for the first time, while overall violent crime continues to go down. Yeah, ask anybody who lives here about that. Doesn't appear to be. And notice how they glossed over the carjackings because we have the world record for, we have 950 carjackings, city of 700,000 people, like 61 square miles, 950 carjackings, no big deal. 2 congressmen called D.C. soft on crime. That's because it is soft on crime. In fact, it's so soft on crime, they love crime. They reward crime. Their kids are criminals.
Come on, DA.
Criminals. Amazing stuff. Wah, wah, wah. They also point D.C. allowing non-citizens to vote. And they do. I'll
make you dig your own hole.
Vote. They say you can't vote in the presidential election, but you can vote in the local elections. And then it's the...
If I go to Albany, I'm bringing this. Better have a gun.
Trump also announced yesterday. Trump expected
I got a feeling
to crack down on
he's a felon. I bet you're like Petros. This is why you guys are friends, because you've all got nailed for DWI one too many times, and you ain't got no driver's license.
But wherever the left goes, the third.
If you drive, you're driving illegally.
The Democrat Party is the left. Make no mistake about it. So President Trump wants to crack down on crime in Washington, D.C.
Come get some, Wiggin.
Are against it. They don't want to crack down on crime. They love the criminals. They love the crime. And homelessness, create tent cities, because we've got homeless people, most of whom are, of course, mentally ill, living in tents given to them mostly by Democrats all over the city. It's like Calcutta. It doesn't look like Washington did even 10 years ago. And they just keep wrecking everything they touch. President Trump wants to make it better. They want to stop him. In fact, now they're
Abraham Lincoln was a rail splitter. That fucker dug holes for fence posts to keep animals in on the farm and animals out.
I think they're all transgender now, aren't they?
We don't want to lock up our kids.
A regular Paul Bunyan.
If they're using guns.
You're listening to the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. Making sense of your world on the go. Stream your favorite shows. Get the day's top headlines and access our podcast archive. All with the new WMAL app. This is for you. Get the WMAL app on Google Play and the Apple App Store. And stay connected. Where was Bridget? Whose husband won't be home for months. Whose daughter...
Tom Flash, you can't even have a panel. You just go live and run your suck fuck and have a side chat. I was in your chat the other day. That was me cloning fucking Jeff. Jeff knows it. He's seen it. Then you holler. Holler says, "Oh, why does Hayden want me to go on his panel?" Hell, I bet you if Wolfie showed up here, you fuckers would follow her right here. That's why she doesn't come. Did you guys harass her? I pulled a Wiggin. Wolfie knows my heart goes to her. We're friends. She knows I'm her friend. She likes men like me.
Serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days.
Will Duray got so mad. He's still mad. Oh, I got her phone number. Because she plays that silly game with you because you're fucking you fit the template. I'm not like that. She's not gonna treat me like I need to be catfished. or that I want to be. You go 8-ship over a fucking picture. Now she knows that if we had done anything in private and I wouldn't do that to her. I wouldn't use her dead parents, none of that shit. Because I have a lot more class than that. You're not very classy, Will Durant, and that lady knows it. So doesn't Zenny.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
And Gotti's a chicken shit. Aren't you, Gotti? Yeah, you're a chicken shit, Gotti.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Bravo TV's
Gotti. Gotti guzzles goo goo. Being you and that old fucking King Sala. I'm King Rob, I'm the sexiest one. Duh. Yeah, that's real sexy. Hanging out in YouTube chats, trying to impress all these fucking old rags out here. Duh, I'm a Greek god. Duh.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta. It is that time of year when it seems like everyone and their mother is sick. And it is human nature to want to know what you're sick with. So sometimes you might be able to seek out a targeted treatment.
And then there's your little friends over in England.
Get the cold and flu-like symptoms.
Yeah, empty child. Yeah, Marina. And then there's Raging Demon. Wow, that fucking guy is out there. Cried to JC about his dog dying.
Assuming that they've been stored properly. You can find out more information about
And Tiffany, you know, her kids are her pets.
If you haven't gotten COVID-19 or flu shot yet this season,
She's an outstanding fucking mother, isn't she? Don't drink too much water, you might overdose.
I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
The Bigger Pockets Podcast Network is your home. Get it? Trying to keep it real for real estate investing. We're talking real estate makes you money in so many ways.
You can buy $1 million house.
These are 4 cities that you can live for free in 2025. Get real talk from real estate pros about investing strategies that work.
Rich people giving away their secrets, like how they actually make money.
It's my house. This is my house. Hello. Bigger Pockets. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Blowing out your birthday candles should be easy, but if you have undiagnosed COPD, you may find yourself short of breath. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years to your life. If you
So there's a connection.
Cough, talk to your doctor.
Because Zoofless is at Shannon's chat. He's in there.
You don't understand. I never sang. I'm not good at
And I know what your accounts are there, Zoofless. Fucking tree hugger.
today. I'm a singer.
Hey, Zoofless, come on up and let's talk about corporations. Let's talk about U.S. tax law and corporations. Come on up.
We can help you have a healthier baby.
Let's talk about the net present value of the American dollar. Come on up.
WMAL, making sense of education, because what's happening in your kid's school matters. Download the
Zoofless, tell me why Trump is president of the United States. Did I just see a bug flying around? Every once in a while, a fly comes to life.
Brag again. I want to get to that. Let's go now to Linda, calling from Bethesda Naval Hospital. Linda, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Thank God. God bless you. I love you. I love you so much.
Wow, listen to that accent.
And I have to put mute with Jason. I got to mute it because I start cussing at the TV because he can drive me crazy. Anyway, I'm calling to let you know that here in Bethesda, where I am right now, we have a lot of problems that Elon Musk needs to go and investigate, because when the bald-headed communist Cuban Alejandro Mayorkas was in charge, he was sending the illegals to the hospital, and they owe a lot of money to the hospital, okay? They were sending a lot of money. And then to make another thing that I don't know if you know about this, the USAA went to the TV news in Cuba too. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So the stuff with the hospital where they were sending the so-called refugees and stuff like that, they owe a lot of money to the government.
Linda, can I ask you to hang on for a minute? Because I have a couple of questions for you about illegal aliens using Bethesda Naval.
Okay.
All right, please hang in there. Wonderful.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington. News media station. Making sense of the news. Responsible 5.9. News now.
WMAL News at 11. Good morning. I'm John Matthews. Breaking this past hour, one of the largest school systems in the region is going to stay the course and remain open for the entire school day. Montgomery County Schools announcing this past hour it will cancel after-school activities, but classes will end on time. The school system writes in a message, quote, during afternoon dismissal, it will be snowing, but icy and unsafe conditions are not expected until late into the evening. The school system says bus transportation may be delayed on some routes because they have instructed drivers to exercise caution. Most other school systems have early dismissal today. A few systems south of D.C. have closed altogether. We are going to get snow, but you're going to have to wait a little longer.
Winter storm warning is going to affect at 1 p.m. Some light snow will develop into the midday and afternoon with not a lot of stickage, but into the evening as temperatures drop back and the intensity picks up, that's when that snow could start to pile up. I think in general, 3 to 6 inches looks like a good bet. There could be a few spots that push up to 7 or a little bit more, a little bit lesser amounts to the north.
7 News meteorologist Brian Vandegraff. The highways are painted white and there's a mountain of rock salt on D.C. streets awaiting the snow. The highway folks have a favor to ask of you right now. Charlie Gitchler with Maryland State Highways. A 54-inch water main break in Prince George's County has left hundreds of thousands of WSSE customers dry and under a boil water alert.
Lynn Riggins with WSSC says even when the water comes back on, the boil water alert will be in place.
Hours because that allows us to collect water quality samples to ensure that the water in the distribution system is safe.
With no exact estimate yet of when water will be restored. Barbara Britt, WNO.
See, this is what they do. They lie like a fucker, dude. Ronaldo, I just tuned it. I've had this sitting over there charging. All right. So I'm reading Vegas chat. It goes back quite a ways. All right. And I don't have anybody blocked. I'm using one account. All right. And I can't have anybody blocked because if they come in here, I won't see them on that account. Nina's saying she blocked Phil. Phil is the man. I mean, how many Phils are out here? Phil is the man. That's a name that fucking LD would come up with. He pissed on a woman's jacket, Nina. That fucking LD Live pissed on a woman's jacket on live camera on Rainey's panel, and Gotti sat there and he watched it. How fucking I would have left. I didn't know about it. They fucking talked about it. So I went and I checked. Yeah, and there it is. Because I would have come unglued right at that moment. Fucker peeing on a woman's jacket out of spite on camera to show off in front of who? Rainey and JT? Wow. JT, so when Rainey breaks up with you, you're going to piss on all her stuff? DA in there saying again, day off, everybody. What a lying fucking drunk. Philo, hey, now how you bad? Duh. Dutchie telling me he's got a catfish Phil. Wow, Dunero, you fucking think that's me? Look at this. You're a dumb fucker there, Dunero. Dunero. What a fucking. Okay, dude. It's probably Billy Hayden, Mina. Now, Mina knows when it's me, you dumb fuckers. Just now reading. Charmy asking where I'm at. I'm live, Charmy.
Between the Beltway and Spout Run Parkway as they get ready for the impending snowstorm. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com to WMAL Storm 17 forecast.
Winter storm warning for the remainder of the afternoon into the overnight 3 to 6 inches for the metro area. Higher amounts farther south. Temperatures will be in the 30s. Snow will drop to a close early tomorrow morning with rain developing tomorrow evening.
Charmy, you have me blocked on my account.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Mina does too. I'm gonna have to I'll have to change it. I mean, I don't have to. They'll still see it if I post.
Realize a rally a day keeps the fascists away. So we got to keep meeting like this, right? That's Jamie Raskin, a Democrat member of Congress, should probably be in handcuffs, penitentiary, maybe Guantanamo Bay. He's the fascist, and he's the Lost March brother.
2 tickets to paradise.
This FBI leak has led to arrest because the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, former Governor Kristi Noem, lovely, wonderful Kristi Noem, Noem blames corrupt FBI after immigration sweep leak. Big leak. The DHS Secretary vows to prosecute crooked agents. Crooked agents, I think that's probably a good idea. Very good indeed. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has lashed out at the FBI, blaming it for leaking details of an upcoming large-scale immigration sweep in Los Angeles, California. The FBI is so corrupt, she said on social media over the weekend, responding to a news account about the looming action, the big illegal alien sweep in Los Angeles. We will work with any and every agency to stop leaks and prosecute these crooked deep state agents to the fullest extent of the law. You may remember that most Democrats don't remember anything ever, but the Obama-Biden administration prosecuted more people for leaking to the press than any administration in human history. Well, Western history anyway. Los Angeles Times last week, citing an internal document, reported on plans for a large-scale immigration action sometime before the end of the month. The newspaper reported that FBI agents were being ordered to help Homeland Security. The paper didn't cite the FBI as its source, but Ms. Noem left little doubt who was to blame in her mind. Steve Friend, a former FBI agent turned whistleblower. They love, I'll leave the whistleblower thing alone, and the Lizard King and Chuck Schumer and all of that. Leave that alone. Said on social media that FBI managers are telling agents not to assist U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the government deportation agency, ICE. Don't help. They've got FBI people telling agents not to help, not to assist. ICE, why would they do that? Aren't you federal law enforcement? Shouldn't you be beaten to the ground with a bullwhip? Ask any Democrat. They've all got bullwhips at home. It's, the Confederacy and Robert Mapplethorpe, the two reasons they love bullwhips, but that's another thing.
So the Trump administration has sought to use the FBI, U.S. Marshals, Drug Enforcement Administration, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. They threw explosives in there. Should be a convenience store, not a government agency, as force multipliers, helping with the torrid pace of immigration arrests in the country's interior. What are they doing in the country's interior? But Ms. Noem's accusation suggests a downside to that expansive effort. Yeah, well, the FBI is so corrupt that they're sabotaging federal law enforcement agencies rather than collaborating with them and cooperating with them and working with them. While ICE has ramped up its arrests, leaks.
Unedited. That's an actual screenshot of that dumb fucker right there. That's Randy. There's that fucking fat head right there. You want to talk about fucking someone who's fat?
And you may remember that all the Tren de Aragua, the law enforcement now just call
that fucker sags on every corner.
There's so many of them in the country, thanks to the Democrat Party, murdering, raping, drugging, looting, ganging, the usual stuff that Venezuelan gangs do that we now know all about, but we didn't before Joe Biden opened the border and rang the dinner bell. Amazing stuff. So, and I believe I saw this morning that there have been arrests in these leaks. And if that is true, I'm still looking around for it because isn't that amazing? Wait, this is it now, I think. Breaking news, 4 employees at DHS, Department of Homeland Security, are being fired today for circumventing leadership and unilaterally making the egregious payments. This is a different scandal inside the government. But 4 employees of the Department of Homeland Security being fired today for circumventing leadership, ignoring what the president said, unilaterally making the egregious payment for hotels for illegal alien migrants in New York City. That's big news too. It's separate and aside from the other crazy thing. But you're a Democrat Party. If you're a Democrat, what do you think you're voting for? Honestly, just completely nuts. So 4 people at Department of Homeland Security fired because they're ignoring what the president said. And yeah, we're going to give $59 million to hotels in New York for illegal aliens. Amazing stuff. Now, that was FEMA money, wasn't it? FEMA money. Federal Emergency Management Agency, not making its way to North Carolina where the hurricane blew through and caused damage, all kinds of damage, but never mind that. And I'll tell you what, I do want to get to this Pete Hegseth story because it's kind of a big deal. And because just yesterday we had a caller, from North Carolina who said that he had worked at Fort Bragg, and that the Democrats renamed Fort Bragg and a number of other U.S. Army and other military bases because long ago the Democrats named these bases after their fellow Democrats who were members of the Confederate States of America, which was a Democrat Party operation, as was the American Civil War, 1861 to 1865. And I keep waiting for them to fire on Fort Sumter again. But listen to this, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. And again, we had a caller from North Carolina, so he used to work at Fort Bragg. And then they renamed Fort Bragg Fort Liberty because the old Fort Bragg had been named after a Confederate military officer, right? A general, Braxton Bragg. And Braxton Bragg, because we were trying to bring the country back to heal the wound that the Democrat Party created when they launched the Civil War so they could keep their slaves. Oh, yeah, and why? It's fun. My friend Connie texted
Rory.
When we were talking about
One,
Tulsi Gabbard being targeted
Crazy
by the
Frog,
Democrats.
whoever the
We still
fuck
have
you
a couple
are.
minutes yet, don't you? Because she's a Russian agent, right? And who is that now? Adam Schiffless calling Tulsi Gabbard a Russian agent, just like Hillary Clinton did. And now they're just, the Democrat Party is the party of the plantation, the bullwhip of the the whole thing, and of Robert Mapplethorpe. But I'll just leave it at that. Remarkable stuff. But it was named after Braxton Bragg. And then the Democrats renamed Fort Bragg. Probably millions of Americans serving in the Army have gone through Fort Bragg, one of the great Army bases anywhere, anytime. And they renamed it Fort Liberty because they want to pretend they're in favor of liberty when they're not. And it's generic. It's a word they figured nobody could object to. But Pete Hegseth yesterday, responding to the phone call we got from the great man in North Carolina yesterday, Pete Hegseth announced yesterday that they're renaming Fort Liberty Fort Bragg. But wait a minute, it's not named for Confederate General Braxton Bragg anymore. Let me explain. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth on Monday announced Fort Liberty, will be formerly known as Fort Bragg, will be renamed again to Fort Bragg, same spelling, B-R-A-G-G. The base previous name, which was changed in 2023 by Democrats trying to erase their own history, as part of a wider Pentagon effort to rescind special honors given to officials and military personnel linked to the Confederacy. This is like when Nancy Pelosi took down the racist portraits and statues in the Capitol, and none of the news media except me reported that every single one of them was a Democrat. Every portrait, oil painting, every statue, every sculpture taken down by Pelosi and the Democrats because of their racist legacy, every filthy one of them was a Democrat. But Pelosi didn't say that out loud, and the New York Times, the Washington Post didn't mention that. They're not that stupid. They are that corrupt. But the new name does not honor the Confederate General Braxton Bragg. In a statement, the Pentagon said Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth signed the memorandum renaming Fort Liberty in North Carolina to Fort Roland L. Bragg, not Braxton Bragg from the Civil War. And he declared this while flying on board a military airplane from Joint Base Andrews to Stuttgart, Germany. I happen to know he was on a C-17 at the time, the Globemaster III. Hegseth also shared video of himself signing the document and saying, "That's right, Bragg is back." The new name pays tribute to Private First Class Roland L. Bragg, a World War II rompin' stompin' veteran who was awarded the Silver Star Medal and the Purple Heart Medal, which you get for being wounded, Silver Star for bravery and valor, for his exceptional courage during the Battle of the Bulge. And I know what Democrats think when they think the Battle of the Bulge, but we'll just leave that alone for now. So, Private First Class, Roland L. Bragg, Silver Star, Battle of the Bulge, World War II, obviously. And Secretary Hegseth was flying into Stuttgart, Germany, when he signed the paperwork and made the announcement and put out a video. The Pentagon announced it does not include any additional, the announcement, the statement does not include any additional information about Bragg and his military service. But I can assure you the Washington Post, the New York Times are trying to find some dirt on him because that's what they do. They might as well be the Soviet flippin' Union. They are not on our side. But this is a great move. And again, I can only assume it's because of the caller we had yesterday on our radio show. I love how people in media always do that. And they try to take credit for, something that happened on their show. A lot of people do that. I don't think I do that, a lot of that myself. But never mind that. Brief biography of the Military Times noted that Bragg served the U.S. Army. This says, and I was reading this earlier, 17th Airborne Division. I think it's the 17th Airborne Corps. I don't think it's the 17th Division. Earned a Silver Star. Was awarded a Silver Star. The World War II veteran is mentioned in a in a book called The Bitter Woods, a book about the Battle of the Bulge, written by John Eisenhower, the son, obviously, of former President Dwight Eisenhower, 5-star general, Supreme Allied Commander, Europe, World War II. Eisenhower, who also served in World War II and was a military historian, wrote about Bragg, Private First Class Bragg, saving a wounded soldier's life during the Battle of the Bulge while being wounded himself. They say lightly wounded. You know, a light wound is a wound that happens to someone else. Wound that happens to you in the Battle of the Bulge is not a light wound, but this is good thinking. I think they changed the name of a whole lot of different bases, and you should look at fixing that because
almost worked, you fuckers. You're trying to change our history.
World War II veteran,
rewrite
Bragg,
it,
which is not surprising.
erase it.
16.5 million American men served in World War II from all over this great land of ours. You people. So Fort Bragg is back. I love that. I think that's a great move.
That's for JC.
Smartly done.
JC, you're ignorant.
Whether it's just your life standing,
inconsiderate,
every day, running errands,
ungrateful fucking piece of shit.
Kids. You shouldn't have to deal with foot pain and knee pain and sometimes even back pain.
Yeah, commercial. I'm going to trash you for a minute, JC, because you're the one that deserves it the most.
Helping to relieve occasional pain and discomfort caused by
Who? Not that.
Periods of standing.
You're the one who deserves it most, not you're the one that deserves. You uneducated fuckers out there always using the word that. Leave that out of your fucking sentences and you might look smarter.
Feel better when you're done hiking than they did before you started hiking. And here's the deal.
Go read a book. See how many times you see the word that. Because you guys use that every fucking sentence.
You can go to Al Gore's amazing internet and Gdefy.com, GDEFY.com, and using the code Chris, conventional spelling. That's
like you, Jeff Holler. Well, Billy wants to go to his chat. But aren't you fucking making a movie and writing a book and all that? Wouldn't you want me to read your fucking Detective Jones? My money's not good enough. You figure I'm probably not going to give you any money? Is that the deal? And then the fucking women out here, you're just a pimple on somebody's ass all the time. Tombstone, you ain't no gamer.
The IRS is intensifying collections in 2025. If you owe $10,000 or more or have unfiled tax returns, it's time to take action. Tax Network USA.
Monica, boy, she really thinks she's fucking something. This has helped her ego big time. I'm back on my keto diet. Google it. Keto is short for ketoacidosis. It's a medical term. What a dumb fuck. Rusty. I read medical records all day. Makes you an expert in what?
Get into the all-new Nissan Murano. And you can from Canada Moonbrook while the massaging seats melt away of the day. You realize that sometimes
I think she's one of the first ones, this thing with government jobs going away. When Trump was in office, Planned Parenthood, he took their money. Just like they did with FEMA and gave it to New York City, Trump took money from Planned Parenthood and put it towards the border. Right, Rusty? You probably have a good reason to hate Trump, don't you? Affected your job? Sure. Planned Parenthood 501c corporation? I think it is. Allows them to apply for help at the federal level, state level. Because the states, have something to do with it too. There's a Planned Parenthood in fucking Canton, New York, been there for years. You hardly see very many people walking in and out of it though.
Take us through life story of the Notorious B.I.G. Here's this 14-year-old kid who feels like a prodigy. We're also supposed to have an interview with Ghostface Killer, but ghosted on us, which I guess is appropriate. Rolling Stone music now.
So what do you do? Coding for them or on the computer? That's like the sign that you seen out in the yard. Have computer, work at home. That's what they look for, coders. I'm not one of them. Come on, Dr. Haydenstein. Come on into this chat. Bring that fucking brain you're talking about there in Vegas. I noticed that when I just went to look 10 minutes ago.
remember yet another password. Name your favorite show.
JT says he blocked spam. That's one of the things that happened in my chat, right? He had a wrench in my chat, and then he would block me in the other, Vegas. Oh, I blocked spam. I asked him, why you got me blocked? I'm too fast for him. Aren't I, JT? You think you're fucking something out here. You're not. You're over. Talk about me. You're over there kissing Wiggins' ring. How you were joking? Oh, we're back together or whatever. Huh, JT? Huh? What about it, Wiggin? You hear him talk about us? There, Wiggin. You turned out to be a real piece of shit, Wiggin. Because now I do hate you. You ain't got shit. You ain't gonna tell me that I have a thin skin. Really, you take it too seriously. Well, I never come into your chat again. You aren't really welcomed here. You can try though. You want to troll me? You go right ahead. Ain't nobody blocked. I've banned a couple of people so far. A couple of handles. That ain't shit compared to how many you fuckers have. I won that battle. Hayden, how many accounts do you have, Hayden? For the longest time, I've been beating you with just 2. You can accuse me of spamming all you want. I don't spam Vegas chat. Here we go. What's the matter, Paul? Things ain't working out for you? It doesn't look that way, Paul. You nonce. Yeah, you nonce. Oh, you plonker. Oh, plonker. You all fell for Rusty. Y'all fell for Rusty.
It is the 17th Airborne Division and not the 17th Airborne Corps. My apologies. They renamed Fort Hood because he was another Democrat and they're erasing their history. A.P. Hill. They renamed a lot of military bases because the Democrats are erasing their history, like Pelosi doing away with the portraits and the statues of racist Democrats and all Democrats, every filthy one. All right, let's grab a phone call. Let's go to Nick calling from Purcellville, Virginia. Oh, Nicholas, you're on the Chris Plank Show.
Hi, Chris.
Hey.
Thanks for taking my call this morning. Chris, why do we need Eleanor Holmes Norton's job? She's been in there for 31 years, I believe.
She's a representative for the District of Columbia.
And she's just a lobbyist, really, for the Democrats and for statehood for a city. So
Eleanor Horton Holmes, black woman.
Trump should look at, and the Congress should look at.
Been there fucking forever.
Of Congress. Now what they've got.
Washington D.C. is fucking a cesspool.
Wholeheartedly. Eleanor Holmes Norton, I've lived in D.C. for decades, and Eleanor Holmes Norton is our non-voting delegate to the House of Representatives. She's elected every single time and will be for hundreds of years, long after her passing. And I'm sure she's a perfectly nice person. But you're right, she has the same status in Congress as the representative from American Samoa and Puerto Rico and American territories. But she's from Washington, D.C. And it's time we put an end to that ridiculous stuff. And I'm with you 100%. And you know that I've been an advocate for years now, Nick, of taking, and not only am I against statehood for Washington, D.C., which 2 radical left-wing, Trayon white, anti-Semites for U.S. senators, which is all the Democrats want, because they'll steal anything that, isn't screwed to the ground. And since we've mentioned screwed to the ground, now Eleanor Holmes Norton, God rest her brain. You're right. The Congress needs to take away, they need to take control of the District of Columbia back and give it to the Congress and get rid of all the elected officials here.
This is the Chris Plant Show.
There's a reason it's called District of Columbia. It's meant, the state set it up as a federal district. It wasn't meant to be a state of the United States. It's a federal district. It's the nation's capital. Originally, New York City was going to be the nation's capital, but you know, the British didn't want us to have our freedom. Yeah. But fuck you guys. Come try to set the White House on fire again, you stupid British fucks.
System used up all of its built snow days last month. Promising news for thousands of WFT customers in Prince George's County who are under a boil water order.
Yo, the Electoral College, what it is all the state legislatures, because they make the laws.
Or with Milo's rewards, earn points towards Milo's money on eligible purchases. Get access to member-only deals.
They do the districting, everything.
Loyalty program. Terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.
Obama even said it a long time ago, and he's fucking questioned about it. He didn't really want to say it, that you would have to affect every county in every state. Well, they did they almost succeeded. They had a few states, and they got these fuckers brainwashed in grade school, primary school into secondary school, which is college. Hey, even though I contributed to the Montgomery GI Bill in that, so when I went to college, I had that to help me pay, but I still worked. I earned money while I was a student. Idiots. And I didn't start college till I was in my 30s. I was going to do it in the Navy, become an officer. Patrick, you can convert from enlisted to officer. You can take an E7 exam early. You just can't be advanced because you don't have enough time in grade. That was my only. You have to be an E6 for 3 years before you're actually eligible to be advanced. Doesn't mean you can't take the test, because they encourage that to take the test. The Navy's very big on education. I already did, Charlie. It didn't work out. I opened it in the wrong place. They should have bought a piece of property in Governor and did it right here instead of the little town of Edwards. It was way out in the country. And little old lady who had the store across the street would make sandwiches, and I don't know wherever she was buying her rolls from. There's a bakery in Watertown. What the hell is the name? I can't think of the name. They've been there. Alteri. I mean, their biggest seller is the French bread, which, French bread is easy to make, really. You don't need a special machine to run. It's nice to have a mixing bowl to mix the dough if you're making a lot of dough. Yeah. Submarines, the one I was on, they have 30-quart mixers. So you can make 100 portions of bread at one time. That's 12 pounds of flour. Then your water, your shortening, your sugar, your non-fat dry milk. It's very hard to make bakery goods on a submarine because you don't have a lot of space. Anyways, I failed out of business. I had to sell it. I didn't stay in business. Found a different job still. Yeah, I tried to be a business owner, but I wanted to retire out in the country. I should be in Edwards making donuts still, but that's not the case. About you, Wiggin? Wiggin bragging about his fucking where he's an engineer or whatever. I don't know, Wiggin. There's something fishy about you, boy. Yeah. That's why I call you wishy-washy. You fucking did it again. Ever who fucking empty child is, Paul or whoever, one of them stupid British fucks. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares? They're all interchangeable.
federal law enforcement that want to round up illegal alien, human, child sex traffickers and drug traffickers. And are there arrests? I'm still thinking that there's something going on there, but we shall see. Ba, ba, ba. Man, oh man. And they got Dickie the Durbin from Illinois. God, the Senate is just a train wreck these days. Used to
Dick Durbin. You ever seen this guy?
Body. Boy, is that yesterday's papers. Now, Dickie the Durbin from Illinois, top Democrat on the Judiciary Committee, which is a horror show all by itself.
These people are evil.
Telling the Department of Justice Inspector General Horowitz in a letter that he has highly credible information. He calls it highly credible information.
The DA finally quit chatting with Whippermantle. He's the only one he's got to talk to.
The FBI before he has been confirmed as director. And he wants to
got
again. Isn't that amazing? Man, oh man. And Aisha Hasni, attorney extraordinaire and close to the Trump White House, says, I'm told 8 U.S. citizens being detained in the Republic of the Congo in Africa will be released in the coming days. That could be a good thing. But this made me laugh this morning. President Trump getting hostages released. A bunch of American hostages being held in Venezuela that the news media couldn't care less about. And President Trump got them released from the Venezuelan commie pig dogs. Here is Axios with their big scoop. FBI finds secret JFK assassination records after Trump order. They couldn't find them before the Trump order. You know, it's only been, how long has it been now? Let me see, 62 years, 61 plus years. The FBI just discovered about 2,400 records tied to President John F. Kennedy's assassination in 1963, Dallas, Texas, Dealey Plaza, that were never provided to a board tasked with reviewing and disclosing the documents. Axios has learned. The still secret records are contained in 14,000 pages of documents the FBI found in a review triggered by President Trump's January 23rd executive order demanding the release of all JFK assassination records. Well, what has the FBI been doing with these records for all these years? Decade after decade. Discovery, 61 years after Kennedy was killed in Dallas, follows decades of government reluctance to release all documents related to the assassination, which fueled a mountain of conspiracy theories, as you may be aware. The existence of the new documents, they're not new documents, they're old documents, was disclosed Friday to the White House when the Office of the Director of National Intelligence submitted its plan to disclose the assassination records under President Trump's order. Contents of the newly found records were closely held secrets. Why? The 3 sources who relayed their existence to Axios, they got 3 sources relayed to Axios, that they hadn't seen the documents, but the discovery of thousands of records on one of the most scrutinized events in U.S. history is likely to raise questions about the procedures for vetting and releasing information across the entire government. You think? They're also supposed to release documents on the Martin Luther King assassination and on the Robert F. Kennedy assassination, and you're supposed to have done it already. In fact, it's time for pre-dawn raids, battering rams, I think. That's what I think, the FBI. All right, now, interestingly enough, what Tulsi Gabbard, who is supposed to be in...
Oh, there's Angie. She goes in the chat. Oh, all the haters.
Lieutenant Colonel...
Why go to chat?
She served...
If everybody hates you, Angie, why go in the chat?
Member of the House of Representatives. She is
Spanky.
on our side. she left the Democrat Party.
You're at a loss, boy.
That they're insane. In fact,
your boy Wiggin can't do shit. You can't do shit. The All Caps crew can't do shit. JC can't do shit. Shannon can't do shit. The BBC British boys crying, they can't do shit. You're all out of luck.
Just continues to dazzle with their corruption and filth and forget about the waste of money and inefficiency and all of that. But
so Mystic and Angie talking. I got a feeling I know who Mystic Witch is.
The Democrat Party is completely unrecognized.
I got a pretty good idea who Mystic Witch is. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, I think that's so. Between crazy and not crazy. Tulsi Gabbard, the Democrat Party is unrecognizable, she said. Interesting, because Robert F. Kennedy Jr., his father was one of those people assassinated that they still haven't released the records on, but Trump ordered the release of the records. And his uncle was another one of the people that was assassinated, that one by a communist, his father by a Palestinian. You see a pattern emerging here? Because history, repeats. And the troglodyte, and he was a Christian Palestinian, still is, I guess, Sirhan. And then the communist, of course, Lee Harvey Oswald, whose widow and children are still alive and well and living in the United States, which is great. But Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said something remarkably similar to what Tulsi Gabbard said about the Democrat Party.
Why is the party trying to disenfranchise those people? What's happened to the party? I don't think my father recognized the party. I don't think my uncle recognized the party.
They would find it unrecognizable, and Tulsi Gabbard finds it unrecognizable. And years ago, Ronald Reagan found it unrecognizable, and I found it unrecognizable. And now let's go to Tulsi Gabbard, because they're trying to undermine Tulsi Gabbard. And again, my friend Connie, now former Hill staffer, but still in conservative politics, Connie, texted me this morning when we were talking about Tulsi Gabbard. And said, yeah, so why are the Democrats out to crush and destroy Tulsi Gabbard? And Connie said, well, because she's a runaway slave. And that's exactly right. The Democrat Party of slavery and the Confederacy, the Klan and Jim Crow. Tulsi Gabbard left the plantation. Robert F. Kennedy left the plantation. Elon Musk left the plantation. Robert F. Kennedy and Donald Trump left the plantation. Podcaster Joe Rogan left the plantation. And I left the plantation. And Tulsi Gabbard that finds the Democrat Party unrecognizable, 8 years as a Democrat member of the House of Representatives. And the Democrats want to destroy her. You may remember Hillary Clinton long ago on a fake podcast with an Obama administration official, David Plouffe, which is not a good name to have. David Plouffe and Hillary Clinton indicted Democrat, and she had not left the Democrat Party at this point, as being a Putin stooge.
I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary. She's a favorite of the Russians. She's a Russian asset. I mean, totally.
Russian asset. Totally a Russian asset. Well, Adam Schiff, the biggest liar in the House of Representatives for years on end, lying about absolutely everything. When he speaks, he's lying. And CNN loves him. Now, Adam Schiff was on CNN.
Wow.
To the United States Senate. Adam Schiff last night on now former Democrat Congresswoman, still Lieutenant Colonel in the U.S. Army Reserves, decorated Iraq.
Hopefully this don't get me in trouble.
This is what Adam Schiff, known as the Inchworm, said last night on DNC TV about Tulsi Gabbard.
Advisors close to Putin refer to her as our girl, an interesting diminutive for someone who might be leading U.S. intelligence agencies.
Yeah.
How you like that?
Putin. Close to Putin. Were you sleeping with them? Were you having sex with these people close to Putin, Inchworm? Because Adam Schiff, Putin calls Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, how you like that?
Our girl.
Fucker.
Now, that's sexist, first of all, but isn't that amazing? Man, oh man.
Here you go, Randy.
And
you have to get a new dog pretty soon.
State TV panel.
Because that's the only sex you get. That dog licks your nuts. It's the only it's the only way your pecker gets wet.
So this is where Adam Schiffless gets his information.
Except for jerking it off and getting yourself wet.
And he parrots the Russian television talking points. Isn't he amazing? Democrats.
JC, look at my video. Oh, JC, look at this video. JC, look at. I made another video. JC, oh, JC, oh, JC, look at my video.
We need leaders in the intelligence community and throughout government who are prepared.
Trust me, JC's a beast. Anything that'll fuck that's bestiality.
At the expense of national security. Unfortunately, I don't believe Ms. Gabbard is such a leader.
Ah, yes.
Wow.
Who's paying you?
Boy, they're after Kelsey. Wow.
Democrats, the way that Democrats treat everybody.
A veteran.
And you should call them commies, spies, and like Chris, California.
And what do you think about your girl Hillary now there, Shallow Shay? Because Shallow Shay is a big Hillary fan.
For about 20 years before the FBI finally got around to telling her. Right?
Big Hillary supporter right there.
Joe Biden let the Chinese spy balloon go all the way across the United States before shooting it down. I think I would have shot it down a lot sooner if I had been president of the United States, but the Chinese got what they wanted. Isn't that amazing? And then there's Democrat Congressman Eric Swalwell, who had a years-long sexual affair with a Chinese spy who was sent here as a honeypot to recruit Democrats, recruited him when he was a city councilman in California. Helped him politically, know what I mean? Wink, wink, and sexually for years, and got him to the House of Representatives and the Intelligence Committee. She's a very successful Chinese honeypot spy. So Mark Warner pulling that. And then Adam Schiffless again, not on MSDNC last night, but on the Senate floor yesterday, attacking the runaway slave.
This nomination is not just unwise. It is dangerous. We're considering her for one of the most important jobs in our intelligence community. And for that, Tulsi Gabbard is a walking 5-alarm fire.
Yeah, she's a 5-alarm fire because she's not, and Schiffless he's probably the one in bed with the Russians or the Chinese, but he's certainly not on our side. And he's not a truth, by God, he's a pathological liar, and he has been for years. Being the biggest liar in Washington is like being the fastest car at the Daytona 500. There's a lot of competition for that mantle, but honestly, man, oh man, I am telling you. Our Democrat Party, aren't they amazing? Yeah, Tulsi and RFK Jr. say the Democrat Party is unrecognizable. The Democrat Party is unrecognizable. It's not an American-style political party, and it's just they're drunk with power, craving more power. Amazing people. I haven't gotten to a lot of President Trump yet. Well, I haven't gotten to the crazy Democrats. Let me get to the crazy Democrats, too. Yeah, let's go to 17, because Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, they were all out in the streets yesterday. And I think they're out in the streets again today, yelling and screaming like this fake Indian Elizabeth Warren.
Into the lobby. We are back.
Fight.
We need to fight back. Oh, I'm Elizabeth Warren.
Elon Musk, who was the Democrat Party giant.
Hey, DA, are you and her are sister and brother, aren't you? I got a feeling. Sounds just like you, DA.
Soros? Yeah.
You guys look a lot alike, too. I got your picture.
Jack Dorsey. Find it out. gonna fight. We're gonna win. Congress, courts. Usually they say the streets because they.
That is one ditzy fucking senator right there. That's a dumb fuck.
Not his real name.
There's a reason why women shouldn't be in
He got
Congress.
5 kids by 5 different women, and then
Yeah, I
another
said it.
kid dropped through the ceiling tiles or something, and
Because it takes a
he's
special
against
person to do that.
saving taxpayer dollars and preventing waste, fraud, and abuse.
She would have never lasted back during the Civil War.
The Department of Government Efficiency. You just remember.
What?
It is the Department of Government Evil.
You
Over.
That's considered to be clever in Democrat circles. Maxine Waters, who may be the most mentally ill member of the House of Representatives.
I want to applaud the courts. They're doing a pretty damn good job right now.
We'll bring it all to court. But when it's the Supreme Court and they say Joe Biden can't give out hundreds of billions to pay off student loans to buy votes, they say, screw the courts. And then Chuck Schumer threatens the lives of members of the Supreme Court. Oh, you will reap the whirlwind, Gorsuch. He says Gorsuch. And Kavanaugh, he's threatening them. Crazy Maxine.
Bring your ass.
Now of the United States of America.
Yeah, right. It's there.
Maxine Waters. There's Joanne Reed. Aunt Moxie. Auntie Moxie.
You're right, it is.
This is no respect for anything or anybody. Well, I want you to know that we are not afraid of anything and anybody.
I tell you, I get no respect. That's the Democrat Party. They're out in the streets. They're going to fight you. They're going to fight you here. They're going to fight you there. President Trump is offering buyouts to government employees, federal government employees. The Democrats are against that because it's not wasteful enough. And government must grow all the time like a tumor.
Tens of millions of people in debt were literally about to be canceled. The Supreme Court blocked it. But that didn't stop me.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
School absences are often due to the absence of necessary resources. But when Communities in Schools is present, students are connected to the support they need to show up ready to learn. Visit communitiesinschools.org. Being present matters.
Making sense of the media.
The news media is attacking him because this is what happens when you're a Republican.
Chris Plant, weekdays 9 to noon.
Yeah, our news media. Billy.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. Your phone has a lot of apps, but how many of them help you make sense of your world? The new WMAL app gives you the latest headline, perspective from the voices you trust, and weather info to keep you in the know. All without having to remember yet another password.
Yeah, I would.
Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app.
Thank you.
Get the WMAL app today on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. You can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Hey, I'm Reba McIntyre. In life, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success, but it was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
We're the stronger than we look type. I've had type 1 diabetes since I was 2. The braver than you think type.
I have to take insulin shots every single day.
The type that will stop at nothing.
No more blood sugar tests.
absolutely nothing. No more complications until type 1 becomes type none.
Support JDRF's life-changing research, and one day you'll say, I helped turn type 1 into type none. Join us now at jdrf.org.
Making sense of your world.
This is no conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Here it is.
Mark Levin, weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Listen to this, would you?
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. Making sense of your world on the go. Stream your favorite shows. Get the day's top headline and access our podcast archive. All with the new WMAL app. This is for you. Get the WMAL app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and stay connected.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, millions of kids don't have the supplies they need. Donor Shoes is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. Learn more at donorshoes.org.
If you're listening to sports, you're looking for an edge rusher, you're looking for a run stuffer, you're looking for a big-time player in the middle of your defense, you're in luck. Mixed with pop culture, sprinkled with celebrity interviews. You hated the title Everybody Loves Raymond. That's true. Is it appropriate for you to tell people to hurry it up?
It's appropriate on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Bill Burr is here.
I want to know who you defeated to get that title as best dad ever. Saga of dads.
You're enjoying the Rich Eisen Show podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
While serving in Iraq, our vehicle was hit. They didn't think I was going to make it. I'm Latoya Lucas, and I'm a veteran. I had to learn to live with the scars, both visible and invisible.
EAB helps veterans like Latoya get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is overcoming my wounds so I can help other veterans.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist.
School absences are often due to the absence of necessary resources. But when communities and schools is present, students are connected to the support they need to show up ready to learn. Visit communitiesandschools.org. Being present matters.
And were subjected to any sexual misconduct from staff members, you may be entitled to substantial cash compensation. Call our Maryland Juvenile Detention Helpline now at 800-285-3502. The deadline to file a claim is close. Call now to get the justice, closure, and the financial settlement you deserve. No matter how many decades ago it was, call our law firm's Juvenile Detention Sexual Abuse Helpline right now at 800-285-3502. 800-285-3502. 800-285-3502.
WMAL, making sense of the roads, because traffic doesn't always follow the pattern. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Let's go to law professor extraordinaire Jonathan Turley from the George Washington University here in Washington, D.C. Talking about Elon Musk and Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, which the Democrats want to call the Department of Government Evil. They're the party of after-school Satan Club. They worship Satan and sacrifice 1 million children a year. They're worse than the Incans. Jonathan Turley this morning on the Fox News Show.
Musk is not actually reviewing this material. This is a read-only situation of people that he has selected. It is very hard to deal with inefficiencies and waste unless you can actually see the receipts, actually see what's coming in and going out.
The Democrats are trying to prevent the Department of Government Efficiency, Musk and his small number of people from reviewing where our money is going because they want to maintain the waste, fraud, and abuse.
But I think the court really got ahead of its skis here and went way too far in shutting down Treasury officials from looking at this material. I think that ultimately that can't stand. Now, they may end up with something in the middle. But ultimately, the President of the United States and his designated officials have to look at this material because that's what he does. He runs the executive branch.
Yeah, but the Democrats are doing everything they can to obstruct justice. Pre-dawn FBI raids on all of them. Drag them all away. Just returning the favor. There's a lot of returning the favor going on. They don't want that either. They want to protect waste, fraud, and abuse.
We are one nation under God, indivisible, together. Making sense of the news. This 105.9. News now.
News, I'm Heather Curtis. Breaking this hour, 2 Northern Virginia teachers are facing sex abuse charges involving children in separate incidents.
Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis says 7 people were arrested last week in an operation targeting online sexual predators.
One of those persons arrested, Richard Berkowitz, was past tense, a Falls Church High School PE teacher.
In another case, charges is now.
All right, I have to leave. Lunchtime, and I got to be someplace and again in a little bit. So, no last call. I'll be back later. Yeah. Think about it. Rusty, Vanessa, they're both Latino, Mexican, okay? Right? You people are so vicious with your own kind, then you fucking kiss and make up. It's fucking ridiculous. Then you fucking at each other's throat again. Guatemalan monkey. That's what VB called when she got mad at old little Miss Rainey. Because as a boomer, VB doesn't like to be disrespected. What's the matter, VB? You mad? I called you a slut? I mean, that's what you are. I mean, it helps your ego, I guess. I bet your daughters are real fucking smart. Oh, I'm untrollable. That's bullshit. You protected Rob Noxious in that chat that day. Rob's like all the others. JC, I was up on JC's panel and she fucking let all those fuckers come up to challenge the potato peeler. You guys can't even. A potato peeler outsmarted all of you. You know how many times I fooled JC? And then I wasn't even cloning. She's thinking certain handles are me in her chat. I just sit here laughing. It's fucking funny. So now's your chance to go live, JC, because I'm leaving. I can't stay here every fucking second. I have things to do. Yeah, it was nice the other day. I left, Wigan had a wrench and all that shit. That ain't never going to happen again. Right there, pal. I told you to be professional with me. I don't even know you, really. Just here. All right. And I'm not playing your game no more. It's what a stupid drunk does. They get drunk. They know their behavior, and then fuck you, Wigan. Fucking need you.